I don't know why, but you are watching the Madness Comic Network. Are you mental?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm at Steel City Comic Con. You're watching me at Madness Comic Network. What a crowd. Love it.
What a crowd. What a crowd. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the madness. I don't know what's wrong with Twitch. I don't care. Where's that thing? There it is. Hi, everybody. What's up?
Hey.
Hello.
I am here with my friend Christy from Flip City. And the newest addition to what we call the madness, Mort Todd, him and Mark doing the thing. We met them.
I'm sorry, in the most bitchin' smoking jacket I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, he's got style. What can I tell you?
Yeah, well, it is after hours, so.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what you're smoking. I know what I'm smoking.
No comment.
No. Okay, cool. That tells me everything I need to know.
But a quick cursory look at my bio will show that I worked at High Times many times. So might give you a clue.
I don't think you could have done crap.
All right. Sounds like Pops might be working at High Times. For the moment being.
A little bit. Ooh, that was good.
I'm trying to get a post out on Twitter, and you guys are already distracting me. Don't mind me.
Oh, that was a good one. America. Yeah, I said that. I said America, because where else can you have this much fun?
Legally.
Where? Maybe Monaco, maybe, right?
I don't even know about that.
I think you got to stay in the casinos, right? Yeah. Okay.
No, I think it's hanging with you guys is more fun than Monaco.
I've heard Amsterdam is cool. Dante wants to go to Amsterdam.
I have a friend that got in trouble in Amsterdam. 1 month from being like discharged from the military, he messed up in Amsterdam and got kicked out.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's harsh. That's really harsh. Our boy Q has been to Amsterdam.
And he made it back alive?
He actually popped in the chat during the draw stream while he was in Amsterdam. And that show was funny just because of Q in the chat.
Right.
So we're here, people, for a reason. Aren't we, Christy?
Yeah, we are. Oh, and super excited. I don't know, Pops, are you bringing the campaign up or what are we doing?
About it. Yeah, I'm thinking.
Well, something I got excited about because I checked the campaign right before, coming into the studio tonight, and I saw you guys broke 10K. Yeah. And that was really cool because I knew you guys were like leading up toward it, but I don't know what you've been doing for promo and all that. So I didn't know if, it was just going to stall or what.
Yeah.
So I was super happy.
Yeah. No, I've been spamming a lot. So.
Well, see, they call it spamming if it's not making money. If you're making money, it's not spamming, bud.
It's advertising. Yeah. We've been doing promotion. But yeah, we offered a pretty cool treat for people if we hit 10 grand, which we did. And it's basically a 36-page book that Mark Ditko, Steve's nephew, wrote about the family. And it's got a lot of family pictures and memories. And so it's pretty unique look at the life of who some called the J.D. Salinger of comics, Steve Ditko.
Yes. My problem here is I'm not logged into Indiegogo.
Well, while you go and do that, I want to tell my anecdote of because you brought up spamming today. Today, Morton, I did a teeny bit of promo for you, and so I went into a comic book of forum on X and posted a thing. And I have weirdness with groups. I don't interact a lot, but I'm like, oh, these people need to know this is closing. Because they're all comic book fans, right? I'm like, okay, I might be able to drum up a little more support over here. But the mod hid the post. And I'm torn between, number one, offended. It's all fixed, by the way. It did get posted. But number one, being offended, which I was, and my feelings were hurt a little bit. Or number two, because the reason it was hidden was breaking community standards of self-promotion. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. This person I'm involved with this Steve Ditko thing, But it all got settled.
Oh, goody.
By the muscle of Mike Barron hopping in and saying,
oh, really?
Yeah, saying, Kitty, post that again. After I had words with the mod. And then the mod said, oh, Mr. Barron, may I please interview you one day? And I was like, muscle.
There you go. You got to use it. You got to, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I have to do a little something over here. I'm trying to see if I can make this work without doxing myself.
What are you going to try to do without doxing yourself? Are you backing it live?
Well, there is one there that I really want.
What's that?
Come on, man. You should know from the first time we talked. You should know.
Conga.
No, man, I'm a static guy.
Oh.
Static guy.
You got the static cling.
Yes, I've always liked that. I even have the later version of it, if you know what I mean. Like somebody else did it, I think. I can't remember. It's in a poly bag. I never even opened it up because it wasn't, you guy, or it wasn't Steve actually. It was somebody else doing something with one of his characters.
It wasn't that Static Shock from DC.
I do no.
He's black. Yeah.
I gotta try and find that. It's in one of them indie drawers over there. I have so many comics, man, it's ridiculous.
Hey, you guys, just real quick, I just wanted to say that we've got 30 live viewers. So if you guys would do us a solid and like, share, and subscribe, we're going to have a blast closing out Steve Ditko's Amazing Heroes and Monsters with Conga. How did you say Conga earlier?
It's he's the star of the Fantastic Giants book we have there. He's that guy in the middle between Static and Mr. Ape. The big ape.
Whoop. Hey, what are we doing, Pops? Are we going to watch a trailer?
Well, I'm still trying to figure this out over here. Hold on. You just keep talking and I'll be with you in a moment.
Well, actually, Mort, I would love to hear because I was thinking before going live, I want to know how your guys' adventure, because it's a new thing that you have a ton of plans to do with, but this is the very first funder that you're doing for this Steve Ditko, reemergence thing with the remastering and everything. I'd love to know how your first funding venture for this has gone.
Well, it was a gamble, and we figured based on his name and his fame and his art that we do really well. But I can say that I thought we probably should have hit 6 digits.
Oh, I freaking agree. I really do. And that was why, when I went in that group and posted a thing, I'm like, there's 1,500 people here. I think a good number of, because it's a comic book group, a good number of them are going to want to know that this is taking place. And just when we had streamed to do your launch, I was super excited to first of all, get to meet you. But also do what I could to help promote. Promotion's freaking hard. The space is it's very noisy.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're, between Mark and I, we're doing the job of like a staff of 20, so it's all us doing everything. So, yeah, promotion is like a full-time job. It can be,
Let me tell you what, when I started doing this, Mark, like 5.5 years ago, part of it was because I had so many friends that they had a full-time job. They worked all day. They come home, they art for 4, 5, 6 hours. Then they had 15 minutes to go out and tell people about it. You see what I'm saying? So I started doing this and trying to help people promote and get seen. And that's all that this was ever about, was just trying to help people get seen. And I think it's getting to the point where I'm really happy with where we're going.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like you got your operation down.
Well, personally, what I also love about what you're doing is that you guys are going to be doing these campaigns over and over to do more of the books. So it is going to get to 6 digits. And I actually think it'll happen on your next campaign.
Yeah,
I really do, because people are just learning and it just takes a while.
Sure.
To like scream louder than all the other like ones and zeros floating around,
And hitting the other platforms, you drop it on Kickstarter, you do this, you do that.
Yeah, that's what's it. I've done Kickstarter plenty of times, but this is the first time I did Indiegogo, so it was sort of, learn as you earn, hopefully.
Right.
And and I thought Indiegogo seemed more comic friendly because I've seen some pretty successful campaigns and junk. So,
well, I mean, it's just it doesn't matter where you put it; it's how loud you yell.
Yeah.
Now if there are some people that just refuse to use one platform or another, and that's why we always encourage people to go ahead and put them everywhere, because there's some people that just religiously will not touch Kickstarter or religiously will not touch Indiegogo.
Right.
And it's like they want your book. They just want you to put it somewhere where they're willing to buy it. You know what I mean? So it never hurts to put campaigns everywhere. What's up, Vulcan? Stephen B. J Tunes. Man, we got all over.
J Tunes has a question about my life there.
Do you want me to read it out loud, Mort? Yeah, I'm going to. Has Mort shared about the great work he and Ditko did in Cracked in the 1989's Robot Wars? And he did get to keep the original art. And speaking of original art, is it true?
Sorry.
Took that away from me.
Sorry.
Is it true Ditko destroyed all of it? Wow. What? Dude, I think you have like a 15-minute rant to go on.
Yeah, well, it was a gas, obviously, working with Steve. He was, when I became editor-in-chief of Cracked, he was the first person I called for work because I was such a geek, and he showed up about 15 minutes later in my office with his art portfolio to prove he could draw humor. And I was like, yeah, I kind of knew, but, and
right.
So, yeah, I was doing a strip that I was writing and drawing at Crack called Robot Wars. And it was definitely a premeditated take on Spy versus Spy, Mad, except it would transform in robots. So it was sort of like the same concept where they, blow each other up at the end and stuff. So, so I was writing that and drawing it for a while, and then I gave it to Steve. I was still writing it, and Steve was drawing it. And a cool thing about Steve is that he adds panels, because like it was probably like written to be 6 panels, and it was at least 9 or 10 panels because, he actually shows like, animation between the panels, that wasn't written there, but he showed it. And that's one of the reasons I think a lot of his comics in the, I guess 70s on would have like 12 panel pages. And a lot of it, I think I had always thought it was because, he only had so many pages to draw. So he'd cram the panels in but like with this one, he just ran with it. So that was cool. And yeah, of course, he got his art back. That was the whole thing. It cracked. We were very artist friendly, which is how we got Don Martin to come from Mad too. And yeah, that's a total rumor about him cutting up his art and destroying it and stuff. You know, I don't think he had much use for it outside of getting a paycheck for it originally. But yeah, there are all these stories of like him using like a page from Spider-Man as a cutting board or something, you know, and it's just like, no, nope. There's a lot of funky stories about Steve that just, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I like talking to Mark. You know?
Well, you know, I actually had a follow-up because I'd like to consider what we're doing here at Flip City Magazine, flipcitymag.com. I'm kidding. Not really.
Yeah.
I love that you said Cracked was artist friendly. I'd love to hear just kind of to boil that down into either anecdotes or stories.
Sure. Well, you know, Mad was not artist friendly. They weren't, you know, they kept the copyright, they kept the art, didn't pay reprints really. And you know, if you got blackballed, like I heard Gaines returned some of the originals when he was auctioning them, but I haven't heard anybody that got any pages because you know, he was a very petty man and thought that every $1.49 for a Cracked magazine that a kid bought came right out of his pocket, you know. Okay. not realizing like kids read both, you know. Like the common thing growing up was like, oh, if you already got that issue of Mad, you can get an issue of Cracked, you know. So
okay.
And I pulled a big prank on Mad once too. That really pissed Gaines off when he found out about it. Go
on.
I was at a comic convention, and Gaines's son was manning the table, and they had an Alfred E. Newman skateboard, and I was a big skateboarder back then, and so I bought the skateboard and said, "Do you guys at Mad, you still have those tours for fans?" And they were like, "Sure." So he gave me his card, and I gave the card to my art director, Cliff, because we needed business cards. And I was like, "Hey, they always say we rip them off. Here's our card. Just put our names on it, you know."
Okay.
And so I called up to get a tour at Mad, and it was pretty fun. We had just swiped Don Martin, and you know, I was like 24, 25 and all punked out and stuff. So
I could tell you were punked out by you saying, "Hey, can we get a tour?"
and so, you know, they had no idea who I was and stuff, but they were showing like some of the artwork in their drawers and everything. And, you know, I saw some Don Martin art, and I was like, "Gosh, why doesn't Don Martin draw for you guys anymore?" And the art director actually said, "Because his wife's a bitch."
Oh,
I know.
Okay, now and I need to know more about his wife.
Well, I'm currently working with his wife to put out new Don Martin books because he doesn't own the rights to his Mad stuff, but he did dozens of paperbacks, and those rights reverted back to him. So I'm coloring them up. We're going to be putting those out, like Captain Klutz and Fester, Bester, Tester, and Phone Bone.
All right, so my assumption here is you're never retiring. You're going to be fucking doing this until you're past your grave, even.
Oh yeah, no, I've noticed a lot of cartoonists. They live longer, and they usually die at their drawing table. You know, because I think when you retire in your 60s or so, you just sit down and watch TV and get fat and die. You know, but if you really love what you're doing, you ain't gonna give it up.
Well, you know, it's either that or you really do have your hobbies that you're really into. Like basically, it's just don't sit watch TV and get fat and die.
Yeah,
you know,
rot away.
Yeah.
Oh, getting back to the Mad story. So they give me a tour, and then we go down this long hallway, and it's Bill Gaines' office, and he's got like, you know, all this goofy shit around, like a Zeppelin and King Kong in the window and all that stuff. And so we're in the office with the son, and Bill comes lumbering up the hall and, you know, blocking the door of his office, and he's go, because, you know, we've been talking with his son about EC comics, because we liked, you know, all the old horror comics and stuff like that. And so he says to his dad, we got some young EC fans here. And Gaines looks at us, goes, those aren't, oh no, I just blew the joke. No, he goes, we got some old EC fans here. And he goes, those aren't old EC fans. And looked at us, and I was like, fuck, we got narked. He knows who I am, you know?
Okay.
Looking for a way to get out of the office, but he's blocking the door. And he goes, yeah, those aren't old EC fans. Those are young EC fans. So I got him to autograph my my Newman skateboard. And then months later, I had sent it to Thrasher magazine, you know, the skateboard magazine, and they actually printed it. And they were like, why is the madman signing the cracked man's deck? You know, and it ultimately got back to him, because I also did have spies at Mad. We had people working.
I'm sure.
Yeah, we had people working for us that worked at Mad. And if you worked for anybody else, you'd get fired. So they had to work undercover. But they told me, like, at one Christmas party, they were talking to Bill in the bathroom. And he goes, that guy at Cracked has got big brass balls to pull that on me.
Compliment
Right.
of the year. Compliment of what?
Compliment
Compliment of which year, though? When did that happen?
Would have been 87, maybe.
Nice.
And
I have a feeling that your brass balls just got bigger over time.
I could tell you stories.
Oh my.
Yeah. But no, they weren't good to their artists, because like you know, they would go on these annual like trips around the world and stuff, which sounds pretty groovy. But you could only go if you'd drawn so many pages in a year. And that's not up to you, how many pages you get to draw. And a lot of artists told me, it's like, yeah, well, that's a nice gesture, but it'd be nicer if we got a bonus, you know, instead, because they weren't allowed to bring wives or family with them and junk like that. And it's like, yeah, my wife would have appreciated a bonus instead of, you know, a trip to Swaziland or wherever they went.
Yep.
So,
well, and that's how so many businesses just operate. Is, you know, they think some kind of weird gift is going to be better than extra cash in your pocket at Christmas time. It's like, that's stupid. Everybody wants cash. They prefer cash.
Yep. Especially if you got a family and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, they would keep the original art and not pay for reprints and stuff, which is pretty skeevy. And it was the opposite with me. I was like, well, because like you said, you know, Gaines came from the old publishing, where, you know, you ripped off the artist and that was just what you did, you know. Whereas, you know, I was a young joker and I was like, artists need to get paid and get reprint money, blah, 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 and own the copyright. And these guys had never published before that bought Crack. So I could tell them anything, you know.
He said, blah, blah. There we go. Look what's happening over here.
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see.
We got one. Let's go, people. Go check it out. This is your last chance. Look, it ends at 3 a.m. Eastern. Okay. So you got a couple hours left. We might not be out here until it's over. Okay.
Wait. But Pops, at the same time, I do want to say that yes, it's ending like way middle of the night East Coast, but it's ending at a relatively okay time for me. So you guys, if we do see some heat building on the stream and on the campaign itself, like I have volunteered to like hang back, even if these old guys need to leave.
It's right. I had my nap before my afternoon meal.
Oh, nice. We might have Mort all night long. We're gonna Mort it up all night long, you guys.
I started at 9:30 this morning with a launch party, and I'm ending the day with a countdown. And I will hang as long as I can. I will.
Exactly. Okay.
Let's get some backers though. You got to share this thing out. Share. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. Share
it out. Like even if you're not sharing the stream out, just like grab the link. Grab this awesome thumbnail that I made tonight, and share it out. And let's get. Dude, wouldn't that be bitching if we got like another couple $1,000s tonight, right before, in the final hours? Like, I might be willing to do stunts for this. I don't know what, but if anybody in chat wants to call out a stunt Christy can do at a given goal, just do it. But by the way, my husband has told me no getting drunk on stream.
No,
I'm not drunk, I swear.
He ruined it for you.
But will I for Mort? I don't know. If he's hanging out all night, maybe. What's going to happen at 1 a.m. Eastern?
Who knows?
Hey, so I was kind of hoping Javier would show up, Javier Hernandez.
He sent me a message. He said he's at dinner right now, but if we're going to be out here for 2-3 more hours, we might still get Javier. So
we're going to see what happens with the campaign.
I got a surprise for him.
Oh shit! I better tell him.
Are we getting a preview of the surprise? Should we? What is this?
You ever seen this?
Oh, nice.
That's from its character El Muerto.
And it's a dead guy.
Yep.
Or a skull.
No, he's a dead guy. He's like, he's an Aztec zombie.
Well, excited.
But there was a movie made of it.
Yes.
I think Javier was able to retire from the billions he made from El Muerto, the movie. And it starred Wilmer Valderrama from the 70s show.
Yeah. Fez.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should add some sequels.
That is good stuff. All right, I'm going off camera for a minute. You know why?
Oh my goodness.
Was it a little puff?
Yeah, I think so. But you know what's as you hear the Andy, yeah.
That's that doobie, man.
I don't have control of this page, so we can't do anything as far as campaign scrolling goes. But what I can do is say hello to the chat. What's up, Dustin, Geekman, Masters of the Thunder Nerds? And he shared it to his peeps. Thank you so much for doing that. And I do want to give a shout out to Michael Ferraro, popping in from over on the Flip City Magazine channel, saying hello to all of us. And
howdy.
And then Woody. What is this emoji, by the way? Like, I just think it's a fart.
I think it's a puff of smoke, baby.
Yeah.
Puff.
Oh, because that's what you're doing.
Whoa.
Here's a. No.
This is why we don't have Mark here, so we don't have to answer.
Yeah, no, that's not true.
Look,
he was
anybody named Patrick
about his art though. He gave my art director Cliff. He gave him a beautiful splash page for horror comic I used to do called Monsters Attack, and So he was very generous. I'm sure he gave tons of other people originals.
You know, more how much, like, I don't even know how you would quantify this or count, but like how much original art from all the projects that you have worked on are you holding on to in your
Me
house?
personally?
Yeah.
None. Like
None.
if other artists did it, or if I did it, yeah, I got piles of garbage of like that. I drew, yeah.
I got piles.
But you literally have no original art from people that you've worked with.
I think I might have, but yeah, basically, you know, I had a girlfriend at the time said, "You're a hoarder," because like I had 5 storage spaces, and you know, eight copies of the same book or something. You know, she's like, she made me watch the Hoarder show where like someone had 10 spatulas, and the person was like, "Why do you need 10 spatulas?"
But that's not spatulas.
I know, but it was like, it got to the point where like I got rid of most of my comics and stuff too, because it was just I was using the excuse that like, oh, I might need this for reference sometime or something. And, you know, and now with the introduction of the internet, you know, it's like, you can get your reference anywhere, you know, you don't need to physically load. I mean, you know, I moved up to Maine a couple of years ago, and I still had like 2 storage spaces in New York for a couple of years. So it was shit I would never see, you know?
And isn't that weird? Because I had a huge collection at one point, and a good portion of it was in storage. And it's like, you can't even enjoy it. When you get so much that you can't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
I would get something new. I'd put it up on display, and whatever was in that spot would go in a box. Right? I just kept getting boxes and boxes and boxes of stuff.
Yeah, I can't relate because I'm not a collector, you know. But
of anything?
No, I actually no. I collect stray people.
There's only a couple hours left of this bin. It is not going in demand. So look, guys, we talked about it with him. He's not putting it in demand. So you're going to have to get it now.
Yes.
Get now. There are 4 different comics here. We're about to run through this thing. You're going to love it. But the link is in the chat. You can go look at it at your own speed if we're not moving fast enough for you. But we have a couple hours to talk about it. So I ain't no hurry you.
No, I definitely am not. And I do have to just say, what is up to Ben Sullivan? And also, I have to show this live because Mort, you don't know this, but this is, why did you take it away?
Because it's Ben. Ben, he's your friend. I know who Ben is.
No, I don't think you really know who Ben is. Ben Sullivan is the lead parody artist for Flip City Magazine. And this is some of his art.
Hold up. You got to make yourself big. If you
yeah. So this is Ben Sullivan doing the Joker. This was our Joker musical. I just have to show off his work live because he popped in and said hello, and we fucking love Ben. Like he's a wonderful cartoonist, and I just kind of wanted to relate my own tiny story to you, Mort. You can take me off in
no, you're telling a story. You get
okay, fine. But Mort, when you were telling the story of Ditko doing extra panels and everything, Ben, and the way we work with Ben is Ben has basically worked himself up to doing extra pages for our parodies, and it's like the relationship is wonderful and sweet. You know, so I feel like I'm kind of reliving your story a little bit in what we're doing.
And well, you have a looser pagination for your books than, like, you know, because
Ben is your friend.
Monthly book, so it was like, oh, it's kind of got to be 58 pages. You can't have, you know, 5 pages.
Oh yeah, no, we're
6. You know.
Yes,
I mean, you know, you can shuffle stuff around, but
we're indies, and that's why indies rock, because we do allow ourselves quite a bit more flexibility.
Trying to get this where you can see the whole thing. There you go. That should look better. Okay, Mr. A. It's Mr. A. Ben, is Ben your friend? Christy?
Ben's my friend. He's the best old Ben that's ever been. Ben, you're my friend.
Yes, it is Ben. He's her friend, the best friend he's ever been. There you go.
No, he's the best old Ben that's ever been.
And your best friend that's ever been. I'm throwing extras in there. Let me add
that's my, you know.
Are those lyrics from the Michael Jackson song, Ben?
What's funny more, it is actually a song, but you know, just done by a dude online.
Yes. It's funny because I can hear the song from Ben from the movie, the Michael Jackson song. I can hear that. I can hear it in my head right now. I'm like, no, why'd you do that to me, Mort?
Well, I mean, you've been toking all night, Pops. I think that's why it's doing that to you.
Yes. Justin collects stuff. Yes, he knows something about storage space too. If you could see behind me, Mort, you would see boxes and boxes of comic books. What can I tell you? Even some Ditko Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Back here somewhere. Yes, there are. Look, guys, this is old school, but it has been like recolored and stuff, right?
What about our books? Yeah.
These books here, yeah.
I mean, this Mr. A book was supposed to be in color when I commissioned it in the 90s, and but it never came out. So this is the first time it's out in color, like it's supposed to be and collected and all that.
Mr. A. Let me get down here where Mr. A. There you go. Okay, the digital edition of Mr. A is $5. You can get it right now. No waiting. And then there should be a print edition down here somewhere, right?
Yep.
Oh, there's stickers. There's some Mr. A stickers, guys. $10. Yep. Mm-hmm. And the print edition.
There you go. And we also have a variant with a metallic cover.
Oh,
it's so shiny. Like, I am so attracted to shiny objects.
Put that back up there. I was on the page and I didn't see that. See, that's the problem. When you're scrolling through the campaign, you don't see what your guests are doing. Yes.
And,
awesome.
And it's got the regular contents inside, of course.
Beautiful.
But it's fun. I mean, it's kind of weird because I'm bookending my life sort of with Don Martin and Steve Ditko. You know, worked with him in my 20s, and now I'm working with him again. And it's like coloring their stuff is wild because it's almost like inking it, you know, because basically you're going over every line to fill in the color and everything. So it's interesting.
Go get some right now. Look, there's 4 different books, like I said, on this campaign. Did you kick me off?
Well, 8 if you count the variants, and 12 if you count the digital books.
So yeah, you got a bunch of different stuff here, guys. And like I said, this one is not going in demand. You're not going to get another chance at it. Please share, if not the stream, share out that link that I just dropped over there in the chat. Let everybody know. Don't just share the link. Share the link with a little thing that says 3 hours left, people.
Tick.
Some, you know, let them know it's almost over. Let them know this is a campaign end stream, right? Let them know so that they get over here and get a good look while they can.
The clock is ticking.
It is literally ticking. Hey, real quick, I just want to say hello to Derek Wayne Mullins.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Hey, Mort, something that I have to tell you this story, because after we launched your campaign, a couple days, I'm like, oh, I'm going to post a thing. And so I'm like, oh, they're on Kickstarter. Without thinking to go through social media and find the actual link. So I'm like, Kickstarter. And I just put Ditko in there because I thought, you know, it'd be the first thing that popped up. First, you know, you're not on Kickstarter, but what did pop up, and I'm sure you guys probably know about this, is there's been other people taking these properties and republishing them and making money on Kickstarter doing so.
Well, a lot of Steve's work is public domain, you know, so they can reprint it, but they usually just scan the original comic books. But we're working from, you know, like black and white stats and original art and stuff, so that it's fresh color. It's not, all crusty as hell, even though there's something to be said about crusty comics.
Well, I know Sideshow Bob.
Oh man, my mind went 50 different ways with that comment.
Okay, so
I thought it was socks.
Dan says John Burns said he combined Ditko and Romita for his Spider-Man art style, and that kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense.
But it still looked like Byrne.
Yeah, but I mean, there was enough differentiating from the two and mashing the two together to make his own style.
I mean, for all the artists that have, kind of swiped Jack Kirby, there weren't many that swiped Ditko for some reason. I don't know why. It's like, I can think of a couple. I mean, like, I don't know if, Jim Starlin, when he first started out, was kind of Ditko-y.
I'm trying to figure out this here. Christy, I have to check out for a second. I have to look.
Hey, what I'd love,
I'm not going anywhere, but I have to look at
Pops. What I'd love for you to do is I'm going to share my screen so I have control of this, because I want to go. I actually want to go through all the trailers, because you freaking rocked these trailers, and I want to show them off. So before you leave, Pops, just let me share this. Oh wait, I have admin control.
Yes, you do.
I'm a dumbass. Don't mind me, everybody.
Remember at the beginning, I asked you if you wanted to start the show.
Yeah, that's true. And I said, no, I do not. Because of stuff like this, where I like totally derp it.
I have to check the scheduling thing real quick.
You guys, I am not a producer. I'm not a live stream producer, but let's go ahead and just like take a look at this lead trailer first. And we can talk over this. Oh wait, can you see it?
Oh,
I don't know what's happening. Hold on. I think I didn't share the right screen. I'm gonna stop my screen and share again. Oop. I stopped my camera too, everybody. All right. Chrome tab, this. Share. All right, you can see that, right?
I see nothing.
Now you can.
Now we're talking.
All right, here we go. We're gonna get there, folks. Here we go.
Audio Jungle.
Well, you've heard of low budget videos. That's a no budget video.
Dude, but see, here's the thing while I'm watching this, and this is hitting me directly in the balls, right? And I don't have any. So like obviously it is just like tugging at me in a certain part of my body. And like while I'm watching it, I'm just like thinking of you as a young man, like even before getting into everything you got into, because obviously you have you've been doing it your entire life, but you have a fucking handle on aesthetics. And because it is, it is not, I wouldn't even say obviously a low budget thing. It's not, because it's all your sweat equity, and it is a high budget thing because you fucking know what you're doing. But my question is, like, I'm really intrigued to kind of know, like, before you got into this, like, I'd love to know, like, young Mort, like, what were your dreams and aspirations? Like, are we getting too deep? I don't know, but like that kind of stuff interests me.
Right. Now, I grew up in a very small town in Maine, and started drawing and stuff when I was pretty young. And by the time I was in high school, I knew I wanted to I was making comics in high school, but I wanted to be professional and junk, so I had to move to New York for that. So right out of high school, 17-year-old little punk rocker moving to the big city.
You gotta also please can I interrupt your story for 1 second? Because I want to know more about punk rock more. Like, because this is like at the height of like, this is like the new thing is being punk rock.
Oh, really? Well, do you ever, I knew a lot of bands, even here in Maine, like, when there were like 3 punk rockers in the whole city and stuff, I knew bands up here would do ads for them and junk. And then when I moved to New York, started doing record covers and stuff. Like I did a series called Back from the Grave, which was garage punk from the 60s that a friend of mine would go around the world and find, these 45s that were like pretty obscure, but really great. And so I did all these covers with like punk zombies killing hippies. And
nice.
And it was before the zombie was a regular character in everybody's homes as they are now.
That is true.
And so I just hung around with a lot of bands in New York, went in a lot of club hopping, skateboarding.
So, are you basically saying you just kind of like network the scene?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I didn't have a choice. It wasn't like I didn't have a rich family to support me or anything, so I had to get my 75-cent falafel once a day or something. That was about it.
Who doesn't like a good falafel?
Yummy. And so it was quite a wacky scene in the 80s in New York. A friend and I took over a floor in an abandoned building and squatted there for about 1.5 years and had free electricity and gas. And
I really can only imagine.
And I mean, the Lower East Side back then, it looked like a war zone. There were just all these burnt buildings and lots just full of garbage. And any of the stores in the neighborhood, they were all, fake. They had fake fronts, but they would sell drugs. And now I go back and, they're like, $10,000 a purse store or something, a boutique.
Right. Well, so how much of your life have you spent in New York?
Oh God, like 30 something, 33 years or something, 35. I don't know.
Now, do you miss it? Like,
no.
Well, I mean, as far as like, I guess if it didn't turn into what it was and it always like just kind of stayed like 80s New York,
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like it was, there were tough times then, and you'd get into fights and junk like that and everything. But now you don't get into fights; they just kill you, or there was this thing. This guy on a subway found a dead body and decided to fuck it. So I mean, that I just don't remember necrophilia being too popular back in the day. So like New York's just. I can remember too being a kid and seeing old ladies that would have their shopping carts instead of a wheelchair and shit, all hunched over, and I'm like, I don't want to be like that when I'm that age in New York, man. There's just too many predators,
Yeah.
And it's so friggin' expensive too, because like that was one of the reasons I moved back, because my family's up here, and I knew my parents are getting old and all that, so. But it's just so much cheaper up here. The cost of living is ridiculous, and it's still pretty high, but.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Where are you right now?
Maine.
You're in Maine.
I'm in Portland right now, yes.
All right. It is fun that we have a Portland on East Coast. That I would think is maybe similar.
Nah. I think the other Portland's a lot more urban. It's more of a city, whereas this Portland's kind of like a big town. I don't think the tallest building's probably like 12 stories or something.
Yeah. Well, Christy's exposing herself for not traveling enough, you guys.
Oh my God.
What's that?
I said, oh my God.
Oh my God. It's because I live in Southern California. Why leave?
Yeah.
Except for to escape all the policies. I'm holding strong, you guys. I'm a California patriot. I'm not abandoning my state. We're gonna take it back, damn it. But in the meantime, because like I said, we're playing trailers because I just love every single one of them.
Let me tell you that the music for that Mr. A, classical music, that was Steve Ditko's idea, because we'd talking about doing a live action TV show back in the day. And, I was trying to think of what music would be cool. And I was thinking sort of like Peter Gunn, that, something jazzy like that. And Steve was like, no. He was like, jazz is discordant and chaos. So he really wanted classical music. So I used Mars, Bringer of War, which actually has like, if you listen to it, it has the SOS code in the music.
Oh, of course.
So I figured, opened it up with the SOS telegraph stuff and figured it was a good reflection on the world that Mr. A lives in. And and it's pretty prescient, the stuff, because again, this was 1990, and he's got stuff about social justice. And I'm like, who the hell was talking about social justice in the 90s,
Only the X-Men.
Commies.
Only the
They've been around us.
That wasn't a phrase in the 90s that were like, we demand social justice.
Hey, listen. It's not like this shit happens overnight.
No, it was correctness then. It was wrapped in a different package.
Right.
It was, guys, you can't be quite so harsh on the other guy. You have to be politically correct. And, oh my God.
But Pops, can you flounce around a little more while you say it?
Did you clip that? Did you clip that shit?
I will in the future.
Okay. Good job.
But I really won't.
Look, I loved the parody magazines back in the day.
Yeah.
And there's we know there's only one now that even compares to what it was back then.
The only one in the world. What other humor magazine is there besides Flip City?
Yeah.
None. Which by the way, Mort, you made Scott change some of our things, some of our promotionals, because it's like, you know, America's Best Satire Magazine. And then when we had spoken, you're like, it's the only. And so Scott took it to heart and it's like, I'm changing these promos.
Great. Yeah, it's like, you know, Mad puts out a reprint book every now and then or something. I think just to keep the copyright, but.
Oh, proud moment for us in particular that just happened in this last week. Flip City, for the first time, was found in the wild because we didn't know we were in this particular comic book shop on a magazine rack between between a reprint of Mad and a Crazy magazine.
Mhm.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and it's like, woo, we look so fucking hot there.
Yeah,
I saw a salty cracker push in your magazine one night.
yes.
Well, I think that's how you found us, sir.
Yes. And look what's on top of my
That was like years ago that I
It was years ago. Salty still talks about us
this
because he loves us so much.
This is on top of my reading stack. This is next. This is
Please
next.
do.
This
Please
is
do. You know,
It
like
is.
we really don't produce Flip City to like sit on shelves or be shipped in Gemini mailers and be treated as like some kind of really like, oh, don't touch it. Like fucking rip the bag open, stick it in your bathroom, use it as toilet paper if you must.
Need it
If you must.
Look, I don't
be a mint with the acid-free backing board.
I'm one of them people that doesn't take comics in the bathroom. I have novels.
So he'll take his phone.
I was going to say, yeah, that's what they got phones for.
I don't take my phone either. I take that's where I read my novels. Okay, that's where I get the word reading in without no pictures.
So, like, you go in and start World War and Peace, and you're sitting there until it's done.
I don't want my books to catch a stench. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to catch a stench. I don't want to open that bag up next time and go, oh, damn.
In one of my apartments, I had one of those comic racks, you know, that was like, look, hey, kids, comics or whatever. And so I put the comic, you know, old shitty comics that I didn't really care about, but they're still fun. And I put them in the bathroom. And what happened was, you know, they got humidified pretty damn quick. You know, after a couple showers, you know, they were just like all the steam in it. So it's another reason not to have your comics in the bathtub or something, you know.
So only in the half baths, you guys. Only in the half baths.
What can you tell the Stacy about this question right here?
Well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lloyd Llewellyn, but it was created by Dan Clowes, who did the comic they based Ghost World, that movie Ghost World on, and a few others and junk. But he and I were roommates in New York for a long time. And we'd work on each other's comics, you know, like sometimes I'd pencil and he'd ink, and sometimes he'd pencil and I'd ink. And so he got this deal. It was about the same time I started at Cracked. He got a deal at Fantagraphics to do the series Lloyd Llewellyn, which is kind of like a, you know, like 60s cool spy kind of guy. So I wrote and drew a few of them for the first couple issues, but Dan inked them, so he overwhelmed my singular art style. So a lot of people don't know that, but yeah.
Well, look, I didn't even know you worked on that. So, look, Stacy, from what I understand, has a huge collection of movies. It's very nice, like right there. It says acres of movies. That's, you know, she is very knowledgeable about the crossovers between the comics and the movies and the places where they, you know, every time she gets in stream, I get a little bit more impressed with the knowledge, you know. Can't help it. You got to pay attention to your fans, right? You got to pay attention to the people in the chat. And, hey, that was a question I would have never known to ask, right?
Oh, I know. I'm freaking loving the chat tonight with their wonderful questions. I'm like,
Yeah.
because my goal on any stream is to like be as lazy as fucking possible. Like, please, guys, like more questions for Mort. We're gonna be here for hours.
Yeah, I think that's what the goal of all like talk show hosts. They just show up and let the best talk. You know,
good gig.
Yeah. We hope for the we do. We come out. We hope for the best. But I mean, like, I do have a reason for doing this. You know, I want to help you guys get seen. I want to help you guys sell books. We did pick up another backer over there. Sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
Do you have? Oh, dang. See,
What?
I got curious, you guys.
What?
I did get curious. Oh, good.
There you go. And you're in control. That's yours.
Oh, see, but that's mine.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, wait, because I just recently refreshed and I was like, oh, cool, a new backer. So I'm gonna refresh again and see what happens. Let's see what happens here.
I got 316. Yeah. And when we started, it was 314. So, you know.
Damn.
Let's go. People.
We'll be making that 100,000 within a couple hours.
Come on, people.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do for that.
Yeah, I'd freak out. That's what I do.
Yeah, I think that's.
I also got to tell you guys. Are you familiar with Dan Klaus?
A little bit. Not a lot, a little bit.
I'm not.
Because again, like I was probably 18, 19. I sold a screenplay to a German production company, and we shot it in New York. And we were all like in our late teens and 20s, but it was about a rock and roll superhero team called the Ultimates, and the band members, there were 3 band members, and the lead guy was Dan Klaus. We hired him to be it, and we made him look totally like Speed Racer. He had a big black pompadour and all that.
What was the pompadour? His real hair?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
he's pretty bald now, so I bet he wishes he kept it, in a bag or something.
Okay, so note to people in their youths right now: just save your hair clippings.
You can staple it on later.
Yeah. Or super glue.
Hey, if you're famous, you can sell that shit, though.
There you go.
You're famous. I mean, they sell bath water. They sell all kinds of crap now.
I did that. I bought some celebrity hair once, and it turned out to be pubes. And I complained, and they said, "Oh, shit." They were like, "We were supposed to charge you more for that." Wasn't that funny?
For reals, everybody.
Oh shit! Oh. Yeah, it's a good time to share this out to every Facebook group I know. It can only get better from here, right? Right?
Being optimistic.
I agree.
Yeah, it's time to share this out everywhere. Here we go.
Oh, well, that's what I was also doing. What are you sharing? I'm sharing.
I'm doing it on Facebook because I'm in like 50 groups over there.
Ooh, thank y'all.
And I'm about to spam everybody.
Oh, well, on that note, actually, let's watch another one of these trailers because, like I said, like they are the bomb done on a no budget.
Yeah, no, that's just showing the cover.
Oh, that's just that. Yeah.
You guys, yeah.
Thank you, sir. This one.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm sorry, you guys. Like, I'm trying to make this full screen. And it's not. It's being a butt. It's being a butthead. Okay. Go full screen.
It just
There
ain't,
you go.
it
Okay.
just ain't working with you, is it?
It is not. Pops.
I'll blame that on Crom. Blame it on Crom. Go ahead.
I am blaming it on Crom. Like, I really hate Crom, and I'm very like upset that so many people are doing fan out art of Crom. Like, why the hell are you drawing this oldest shrivel? And
Look,
anger,
he's like
anger.
over my shoulder right here, right? He's over my shoulder right here, and he's going, "Yo, Christy, looking right at you."
All right, listen, Crom. It's what I'm about to do, but like, I feel like I might be making a mistake asking for this. Pops, do you want to try it? Because I don't want to play it not full screen.
Would
I'm
you like
quite
me to
upset.
try? Is that what you're asking?
Yes,
Let me
that's
see.
what I'm asking.
Which one?
I'm like, actually, I'm not. Like, I don't even want to ask Crom's permission because he's a dick.
Is this the Fantastic
I'm upset.
Giants one?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
It says full screen is unavailable. Word more.
What?
All right, fine.
It does say no. And when you're playing it, it says it will not play. It's unavailable in full screen. I do not know why. But
Screwy.
I'm going to stop sharing that and see if I can get it to work when not sharing. Nope.
Does it have a watch on YouTube thing to click on?
that's what I'm checking right now. Checking to see what this link, where this link takes me. This link took me to, yes, YouTube. I got you. Hold on. Give me just a moment to.
No, I got it. I got it, Pops. I'm going to do it. I got it right here. I got it right here, buddy. Now I got to get back to StreamYard. Here we go.
Oh, see, now look, you went and stopped me, and I was all ready to just share it. You stopped me.
I did, because it's all about me, like all women. Why do you guys just learn, right? Just learn. It's all about the women. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. Yes.
Did you recognize the music?
You told me what it was.
Right.
I was curious, and I forgot already.
King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yep.
It's a bunch of natives, like Japanese actors in black skin running around a fire and stuff, singing that.
Well, how are you able to use that without getting struck on YouTube? Is that in public domain?
No, there's some music on there that they allow you to use it. You can't. They won't let you monetize it, but you can use it without getting a strike.
You hear that? They will not let you monetize it. YouTube sucks, man. They get money. YouTube gets money for everything. Why they got to take away ours?
No, I tend to use, public and, free use music, but I couldn't find anything, good for a giant monster. And so why not go to the source?
Yeah, it worked perfectly for it. And, well, that's the thing too, just about YouTube that irritates me is they demonetize people, but still play ads.
Yeah,
Right.
they still
Like,
make money off you.
That seems very, very wrong. You can't demonetize people and then still monetize them.
Yeah.
You gotta look at it from this point of view. It's like you're sitting there, they're still making money off your content and they won't allow you to.
Right.
That's like what if you're not going to share some of the money you're making off my stuff, you shouldn't be allowed to I shouldn't even be allowed to put my stuff there. It should just be one or the other. Either you're paying me or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be there if you're not going to pay me. What kind of crap is that?
Well, that's just it. It's a kind of a scam.
Yeah, it's kind of a scam. Yeah. We catch them stealing views from us and all kinds of stuff, man.
Who, YouTube?
Yeah. Straight up, straight up stealing views. Like we have a show, the old show gets 40, 50 views every week, no problem. Never, somebody asked me for the link to one of them from a few weeks previous, and I went looking for it. And I got there and there was 0 views, and I'm looking at it and there's like 20 people in the chat talking, and I'm like, okay. 0 views and all that interaction in the chat.
Right.
And they were deemed illegitimate views. I'm like, what are you talking about? Those are real people that comment all the time.
Yeah, but their parents weren't married, so they're illegitimate.
I get so frustrated with YouTube, man. It's horrible. But that's why we're going to Roku. That's why that whole purpose of building the Roku thing was to get out from under the Google overlord and
right.
Have
you considered Rumble too or anything?
Yeah, we're on Rumble.
We're on it.
We're everywhere.
Oh, you are?
We're everywhere right now, bro.
Oh, more. You don't even know about pill.net. That is how
it's like
dialed in this network is. We're on pill.net.
I have to look that up.
Please do. You might find some things that interest you.
I mean, you'll find this show there right now. On the Madness.
Are we on Build?
On the Madness Comic Network right now. Yes.
Good Lord. I don't know PillNet, but they know me.
They will.
Should I be monitoring that chat?
Check it out. It's like this, Mort. Right now we're on Facebook and in a few dozen different groups we've been shared to. We're on 3 different YouTube channels. We're on Twitch. We're on 3 different X channels. We're on Rumble.
Damn, I forgot about Twitch.
We are all over the place, bro, and that's my job is to get people seen and get it out there as far as my reach will go, and then beg other people to share it to increase that reach. That's what I do. So again, begging everybody, share the link out. It's right there in the chat. Share the link out. I don't care if you share the stream out, but if you come on, people want to talk to Mort, man, share the link to the stream out too. Get some more people in the chat talking, have some fun. We got 2 more hours, 2.5 hours left on this campaign.
Hey, yeah.
Oh, baby.
Oh, you guys, we passed the midnight mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's past midnight here. Yes.
Good thing it's not a full moon.
So Christy, are you still showing the campaign?
I don't know what I was doing.
What? Stop
bossing me. No, that was a YouTube. We're gonna remove that.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you for sharing, Matthew.
What is up, Matthew? What's happening? Matthew also has a book that he's in the middle of having art done on right now. So we love when the
You got a bunch
creators.
of creative people in your audience.
Well, that's how it began. That's pretty much why it. See, my thing started with a little Facebook group, right? And we used to just go. We used to just come out and do videos of, look what I got. Right? And that was it. There was no production or promotion or anything. We were just a bunch of friends showing off what we scored at the comic shop today, or what came in the mail, right?
Right.
COVID changed everything, Mark. It changed.
COVID.
Yeah, it changed everything. Overnight, my little Facebook group turned into a networking and promotional group because everybody got screwed out of their tables all summer long. Right? Some of them paid, a lot of people paid a lot of money for tables they didn't get to use, and they didn't make any money. And that's where I started doing my monthly CromCon show. And that's how this all started, right? But it was just a little Facebook group. It wasn't YouTube. It wasn't all this other stuff, what we're doing now at all. It was one little Facebook group that now has 3,200 comic people in it.
Damn. Well, you got to thank that flu for this happening.
Well, yeah. I mean, for what happened to us.
There were a lot of fantastic things happened from the flu. Happened from a lot of people that were like, F you, flu. I don't believe in you.
All I knew was that I had a whole lot of friends who just watched their whole summer income go out the freaking window.
Yeah.
And that's why I started doing CromCon. And that was once a month more. We come out and we talked to 60 people and let them talk about what their campaigns or whatever, their website, wherever they were selling their books. Once a month, I did it for 39 straight months.
Woo.
And then it was like, okay, now I started picking up weekly shows. And I didn't have time to book 60 people to a big weekend event every month anymore because I was trying to build this network now. And it just kind of got pushed into the background. We don't really need it. The cons are back. What?
Yes. Madness Comic Network rocks pops. All right.
We do kind of want to do
Steve Ditko's amazing.
What I was going to say is we do have people asking about doing it at least once a year, doing a CromCon event.
Right.
I can't do it monthly. There's no way.
Hey, by the way, that actually makes me wonder because not Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Mort. I'd love to know what kind of knowledge you have on actually running events, because I know you have one coming up, like in person, in real life events. That excites me because I'd like to do my own one day.
What do you mean? I don't have an event.
The DITKO'S.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I thought he was playing around.
No, I wasn't sure. I mean, because we're doing a bunch of cons this summer, but I didn't.
But that's
that's like in November or something. It might as well be in the year 8000.
No, that is so right around the corner. I'd be sweating right now.
Well, that would be fantastic if Pops could do a live stream from there.
Oh, well, Kaz is going to be going down to the Bottle Works. He's going to set up a meeting with Matt, go down there and look the place over and find
fantastic,
the place in the building that gets the best Wi-Fi, the place in the building that has the best overview of the place. Because we want to broadcast and be able to see everything and talk to everybody and do an all day, live show from the floor. It'd be awesome.
Well, but more just because you have more insider knowledge and all that, can you tell us about this con, what's going on? And
yeah,
this is the first time I've heard about a Bottle Works place.
Yeah, it's it's in Steve's hometown of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and it's pretty fun. Yeah, they it's not as big as the San Diego con, perhaps, but
especially at a place called Bottle Works.
Yeah. Right. but you get some pretty diehard fans, and also they invite a lot of people that worked with Steve, and writers and stuff. So you can find out there's true story behind the creation of Squirrel Girl, stuff like that. One of Steve's most famous characters. And
so I'm sorry. So this is a thing that's happened in the past.
Yeah.
This is going to be the third one, right? This is going to be the third one?
I believe so. Yeah. I went to the last one. They've been doing them biannually, and that has nothing to do with sex. Biannually.
Or gender identity.
Yeah. It's not biannually, it's biannually.
I was gonna say it. I was gonna say it. I let you say
it. You got too much class to say it.
Oh, it was right. Tip of the tongue.
I don't think he does have too much class to say it.
That was good. But they also have they have people selling stuff, and all Ditka related. But what's really cool is they got a little section of the Bottle Works where they have a permanent display of a lot of Steve's stuff, like his drawing board and photos from when he was in the Army. It's really funny. There's a couple there's a photo of him in the Army climbing the side of a building, and it's like so I think he knew he was going to do Spider-Man years before, and it's like, draw what you know. So it's like, I don't know about climbing buildings.
That's why somebody was taking pictures of him up there so that he could get that visual.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And some art he did in, when he was a kid, which is pretty cool. And
Matthew said he went to the comic shop today and bought Powers #1. And now he's lost at the casino.
Oh.
Or he lost at the casino. One or the other. You're not supposed to lose at the casino, bro. You're not supposed to.
Get that gambling addiction under control, Matthew.
Is he talking about, he said Powers #1 is, I did a bunch of stuff for this company called Power Comics. I don't know if that's what it's related to.
I think Powers #1, isn't that Vince White's book? I'm not sure. There's so, man, I talk to so many people about books so much, I don't know, Matthew, whose book is that? Talk to me. There are so many, but I'm serious. I've probably, since I started doing this 5 years ago, talked to 2,500 people.
Easily, I'm sure. Yeah.
About their comics or their podcasts or their movie, whatever, right?
Right.
I talk to a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, again, it's such a difference from like the early days, like 1990s, before internet and junk. But anyone can put out a book now, which is pretty cool. Can do a comic, because
and anybody can do a podcast. And the competition is so harsh on all the fronts, right? Okay, independence, the only way you're going to get anywhere. Okay, nobody's getting a job at Marvel unless you know somebody and you're willing to house style or whatever the hell that is they're doing over there.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, right? So you gotta do your own thing. Indie's the way to do it, right?
Yeah.
I wish there were more people building networks like I am to get more people seen, because I can't barely scratch the surface of the amount of things that are out there right now that are available that are cool.
Yeah.
I don't know about 90% of it probably.
Right.
I only know about the stuff that crosses in front of me, right? There's way more. You go look over on Kickstarter, there's like 300 active campaigns. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And there's no way I'm going to see all that. I'm going to see 5, 6, 7 of them, that are people I know. And that's it. There's so much more out there.
Right.
It's crazy, man. and it's cracked.
Even.
So when you started doing cracked, man, when you first started doing it, Did you think it was going to do well considering the landscape at the time?
Well, it was weird because, like I said, when you grow up, you know, anyone who told me that, like, oh yeah, I always like Cracked better than Mad, I'm like, you're lying, you know. I mean, they had some good artists and stuff, but you know, it was kind of a pale imitation of Mad. I'd like to tell people I turned Cracked from a 5th-rate humor magazine to a 3rd-rate humor magazine. And
well, like there was some of it though. It wasn't so much one that Mad was like way better, because some of the individual comparisons, like if you parodied the same movie, sometimes Crack kicked Mad's ass.
yeah,
Okay, sometimes the writing was just, you know, that's
you know, what's funny is
it had to make me laugh, or I wasn't gonna buy any.
yeah.
Right? I mean,
Well,
seriously.
we had a much shorter lead time than Mad did. And so Mad would wait and see the box office numbers and blah, 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 blah. So their parodies would come out like almost a year after the movie did, right? So we had a much quicker lead time. So we were starting to beat them all the time with movie parodies. And I know from my spies that they got letters from kids saying, you're ripping off Cracked, you know. But the biggest FU to Mad was when the Batman movie came out in '89, you know, with Keaton. My girlfriend at the time was a British, and so I was in England, and we crashed the set while they were shooting it. And because her friend was actually like assistant art director in the film or whatever. So we get in the middle of the night. I took photos of like everything, like the miniature of the Batmobile before it was built and all that stuff. And so, you know, we had all this stuff and came out with our Batman parody easily half a year before Mad did. And what was funny is that Mad was owned by Warner Brothers, who owned Batman, who made Batman. And they didn't give them any, you know, any promotional material or anything. So we totally pulled the bat rug out of them off their feet, you know.
Oh, that had to be annoying for them.
Yeah.
Look, right now it's like I'm halfway wanting to dig through a couple boxes and see if I can find my Crack magazine. I'm pretty sure I have that Mad issue. Was that a yellow? Was that a yellow cover?
What? Oh, that Batman one?
Yeah.
Well, we did a couple.
I mean, I can see it. I can see it in my. I can see it in my mind.
Yeah, the main cover had Batman on a building ledge with instead of the bat signal, it was, you know, our mascot had a happy face symbol. So, you know, I mean, it totally makes no sense nowadays, but back then it was like, oh yes, of course, that's the symbol of Sylvester P. Smythe, the Cracked mascot, you know.
Oh man, I'm looking at covers right now. Man, there was some good stuff here. There really was.
Yeah, it was fun, and I got to work with some fantastic artists like John Severin was just incredible, you know.
And the A-Team, God, I remember all these, man.
Yeah, and through Crack too, I could hire like artists like Gray Morrow, and I got Alex Toth to do some horror stuff, and it was Gene Colan did a lot of work with him. So it was basically, you know, it was geek time, you know, growing up digging these guys, and then, you know, you could just get on the phone and go, you want to draw a story? And it was like, it was sort of like, I saw it as like actors that do TV ads, because like when they had to do a comic book, it was like 22 pages, you know, and monthly, and a pretty crummy page rate. Whereas with ours, you would draw like 4 or 5 pages or more in black and white, and the rates were phenomenal. They're really good. I mean, that Batman issue, we were selling in the millions, you know. I don't think you can do that anymore.
No. I'm looking at one that's got Batman and Robin and Catwoman. It's a Cracked special, I think, or Cracked swing. It's Wayne and Garth as Batman and Robin.
It might have been after my time.
Oh, that's hilarious, though. That's good stuff. That's what I mean, man. It was a great magazine. You know, there's no, you can't take anything away from what you guys did back then. It was amazing.
Thanks. Yeah, I've reissued a couple books. I did a book of all Severin and one of all Jack Davis from Crack, because Crack doesn't give a shit, you know. I can't really use the name on the cover and stuff, but they don't care about the material. It's orphaned, so
it's good stuff. I gotta quit looking at this. I'll get caught up with it,
or at least share it.
Well, I mean, I was just looking at all the images of the covers on Google. You know, I mean, if you put Crack covers, man, it brings them all up. I was looking for the Batman one. I didn't see it.
Since it was like the 80s, whenever I had to call another company and say where I was from, I would always say Cracked, because so many times people go like, Crack magazine? You guys got a magazine about crack? You know? so I had this French girlfriend of mine. She would always pronounce it Cracked. It's like Cracked. So I just kind of put that accent on it.
That's pretty funny.
Because crack was really big in the 80s.
You think? A little bit? That's hilarious. I just realized that I needed to kick a fan on over here because my laptop just decided to let me know it's a little warm. So just letting you know if it boots me, that's why. I won't leave unannounced. I'm like at the airport.
Oh, I totally left unannounced.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't notice. No.
Were you?
Oh, burn.
That was a burn.
We love you, Kitty. I just figured you do the same thing I do when you turn off your camera, right?
Well, you know, you guys were in the middle of the thing, and like I literally haven't eaten all day, and I have a plate of food here. So basically, I'm gonna stay here with my headphones on and mute and turn my camera off.
Nom 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 nom.
And we'll chime in when appropriate.
What's for dinner?
Ooh, thank you for asking. This is what's fantastic, because I'm not going to show it because it's not beautiful. But we made a barbecue pulled pork sandwich and made fresh buns and a very nice coleslaw, which when I went out and served myself this plate, because my daughter made the coleslaw, my husband Scott said that's the best coleslaw we've ever had in this house.
Wow.
So I'm super excited to dig in.
All right. I'm still trying to find out if I know where my cracked magazines are.
Oh, well, okay. So, Mort, I do have to follow up on something you just recently said, saying Cracked was very popular in the 80s, and it did come with a tinge of sarcasm, right? Because
no, I said crack.
Oh, crack. Okay. Now I get the joke. Whew, Christy.
See why I had to put the ED on it, you know, when I said it. Cracked, because I said crack and you thought I said cracked.
You know, I think so a big thing, at least with Mad, because I'm not any kind of person to like come for any kind of Mad or Cracked history. But one thing that I know that did happen a little bit, whether it was Mad and Cracked or both or what, was like letters to the editor basically saying, you are a terrible, horrible, filthy magazine my child, you know, picked up, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you know what I'm speaking of, right?
Sure.
That was our goal with Flip City, was to get those same letters, and we have, but in such a very different manner because it's coming from the woke people saying, "Oh, you're awful and horrible," blah blah blah. It's like you realize you're sounding like all those other people from back in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, no, they're the new Puritans. The woke, you know, they're prudish.
It's an interesting thing, though. You know, it's basically you know, history doesn't it's what's the saying? History often rhymes.
Repeat. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't repeat, it rhymes.
Right.
Yeah. So it's been an exciting thing.
Biggest controversy we had when I was at Cracked was, it wasn't with Cracked, it was this other magazine I did called Monsters Attack. And apparently a parent was very unhappy that their child had this monster magazine and, you know, wanted to get the authorities involved in Canada because, as it turns out, Canada still to this day has like anti-horror and crime comic laws.
Oh, really?
From the 50s, yeah. So they could pull that out anytime if they wanted, you know, and I'm surprised they don't with like undergrounds and junk like that, you know.
So you telling me all my Canadian friends are breaking the law?
Yep, breaking the law.
Breaking the law, breaking the law. And yes, I do have some Canadian friends that make horror, not horror comics.
Yeah.
On that note, you guys, I am gonna eat, but I'm gonna be listening.
Uh-oh. So we can't talk about you.
And can you still scroll?
Please talk. Oh no, you want me to scroll? Sure.
I mean, if you would,
I can do that.
Then
show that static video.
Yeah.
Which one?
Go back to YouTube.
I am sharing the correct screen again. Yeah. Okay. Good. All right. We're gonna go to the next. You guys, by the way, I'm just gonna slow it down just 1 second. You guys, like, this is like remastered, colored Steve Ditko art, which you wouldn't get from other people just kind of grabbing from the source, or not even the source.
This is from the source. That's what
this is from the source.
Yeah, we got the open source.
Yeah. Static. That's the one I got. That's the one I got. Static.
Wait, did it just jump right back to the top?
Yep.
Oopsie, here we go. Static. Right there, guys. I should go back to YouTube again.
Dope.
All right, guys.
I was wondering how long we could keep her from eating. You see how this
I know, and like my tummy's rumbling. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop this screen and put the new screen. Like, you're putting me through the paces, Pops.
This one is for you, Mort. Do you like Ford Fairlane comic strips?
I just know the one series that like DC did when the movie came out. Wasn't that the one with was that comedian? You know, that would always be swearing.
Yeah, one of them comedians that was always swearing. Yeah, but he
did that movie called Ford Fairlane. Wrong video.
I know. I don't know. Why it?
She's cussing at me.
3 tabs to deal with, you guys.
Only?
Yeah.
I know. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8.
All right. I think I got the right one. That was the right one.
Yep.
All right. Here we go.
Blow it up. Remember that sound from your childhood?
I do.
Yes, I do. gangsters cause a freak accident.
Gotta have you do the voiceover for the next video.
Yes, some people stack rip. It's wild. DITKO'S Spider-Man. Stranger than DITKO'S Dr. Strange. DITKO Billy. Good status must be so close.
It's always the chick.
Supposed to treat you better than ethics and killjoy.
That Deadpool? Damn, I colored a lot of drawings.
Steve Ditko, Static, #1, the first issue, collector's edition of the limited series. See more, Ditko first time. Oh, that's good. How'd I do? How'd I do?
Very good. Your
Yeah.
regular, I can't think of any modern day announcers. I was going to say Gary Owen or something.
See, I like to do that. You know those promotional on the radio ads for the super trucks.
Oh, like Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday. I love doing those.
Yeah. God, that's weird. It was like a national phenomenon. Like every local racetrack would do the
Yes.
same kind of ad, you know.
It's all of Sunday. And you always had a good time wherever things were going on. It was, man, get up real high in the stadium, get all high from all the exhaust.
It's kind of the same thing as like In a World.
Yeah, right.
You remember Snoopy used to sit up on his doghouse with this little typewriter.
Oh yeah, dark and stormy. Pretty versatile doghouse.
Man, that dude, look.
Worked as a Sopwith camel too.
He had everything in there though. He had a Van Gogh pool table. He had it all, man. Dude, look, Snoopy was styling. I don't care what anybody says. He was the smoothest dog in comics.
And he didn't need a hippie sidekick.
Nope.
By the way, you guys, it's no longer Joe Cool. It's Joe Based. Okay.
Did you say Joe Based?
Yeah, Joe Based.
In the strip, they do that or what?
No, you know the whole Snoopy branding where they did the Joe Cool thing.
Oh, what's up, brother?
Now it's Joe Based.
I see Bong Hall over there on Pilled. Say hi, Christy. Say hi.
Hello, Bong Hall.
What's up? What's up?
Thank you for popping into the Pilled chat. Has there been other people over there in that chat?
And I think he just implied that there will be more.
There, like, we might get raided.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
So, yes, we are talking. Should I wait? Well, Bong Hall, we're talking to Mort Todd, the former editor of Crack Magazine. And we're talking about Steve Ditko artworks and comic books and stuff that they remastered and recolored the art and stuff, and they're releasing them. It is awesome. And when Christy's done eating,
I'm not done eating, but I do have a question for Mort because because you have such a long career doing a lot of stuff. But me personally, I know you as the editor of Cracked Magazine. But if you were to bill yourself as a thing, if like, how do you want people to say, "Oh, this is Mort Todd, blah blah blah"? What's the blah blah blah?
I think just blah 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 works pretty good.
I like it too.
No, I mean, I mostly, worked in comics, but I've also worked in film and animation and music and
entertainment.
Yeah.
Sports and entertainment.
Yeah.
And one of the OG punk rockers. Like
in
that's something I learned tonight, that I'm like, oh, he's so cool. Like, beyond the smoking jacket. Well, that really was like, he's so cool. But I was like, yeah, that guy. Wait.
When I first moved to New York, there's this gal called me Maud Mike, because I had like super tight corduroy orange pegged, and Beetle boots and shit. So she was like, Maud Mike.
But why Mike?
It might be my real name.
We are being rated right now, Christy, by your friend and mine, Belushi.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's what it says right there. I'm looking at it.
All right. Thank you so freaking much, Belushi, for the raid. That is phenomenal. We're having a great time tonight. Really talking to an old school, not old school, like he's young school. He's so fucking cool. Like, over on Pilled. Oh, you guys, over on Pilled. You guys care about like parallel culture, parallel this and that. Like, this is where that shit is happening. Is Madness Comic Network. Like,
look, gotta say thank you.
You don't even know what you're watching right now. You don't. A good number of you people don't know who Mort Todd is. He's a fucking legend. I just have to say that. Right. He's a legend. Okay. We have him here live over on Pilled and all the other streaming platforms, which, by the way, if you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. It is important for the algorithm. But, like, we are literally here, like, swapping stories with Mort Todd, talking about the comics industry and Mad and Cracked Magazine back in the day when it used to be fucking cool, because a dude like that, I get confused with this. That guy, he was fucking involved. That guy, like an original punk rocker, still rocking a bitchin' smoking jacket. Like, you don't even know what you stumbled into. So thank you, Belushi, for sending everybody over.
Let me say hi. It's we got Easy Does It, and Belushi, and Ghost Pepper, of course, and Purple Pumpkin, WS Hawks Fan 80, Tone Low, Uncensorable Abe, Wild Irish Rose, what's up? Grumpy Fucker, Bong Hall, yeah. And then we got Cooking from Belushi. And
by the way, Pill.net. But by the way, Pill.net has the raddest usernames. I saw Mort laughing at those usernames. Read just a few of the last ones. Bong Hall. Yes. I know I've seen him in chats all over.
And Ken from WS Hawks Fan. Thank you, man. Appreciate you guys. Look, man, this is what it's all about. We get some interesting guests sometimes, and tonight, Mort
all the time.
He is part of a campaign for Steve Ditko comic books that were from back in the day, like characters that Ditko created way back when he created Spider-Man. Okay, stuff that is being re-released, and it's very affordable, and that's what this show is about. This campaign is about to end in a couple hours, and we're trying to help these guys sell a few more comic books.
Thank you.
That's really what it amounts to. But Christy, being today's version of Cracked, Flip City.
Yep.
It was just like it was just natural that she's going to co-host.
Keeping the flame alive of making fun of shit.
No, but it's also because Mort fucking loves me. You know?
Hey,
he doesn't want to admit it, you guys. But like,
Hawks fans
he
said,
wanted me here.
Christy, check this out.
He's literally passing the torch right now. Thank you, Christy.
Christy.
Pass the duchy on the left-hand side.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. WS Hawks fan said he has been subscribed to Flip City from the beginning. Got everyone since Scott promoted you guys. Love the comics. You see what I'm saying? The people on field are totally behind this. You know, the whole thing, man. It's like fun comics, comedy, parody comics, parody magazines, stuff that makes fun of stuff. You know, stuff we're not allowed to do anymore. Bullshit. We can still do it all, right? Right? Have fun, man.
Yeah, and it was a gas too, because everything.
What's up, Bray?
Everything I could put on my expense account, because like we made fun of everything.
Yes.
So it's like I probably saw at least half a dozen or more movies a week. See what we're making fun of. Sometimes. Like with Reanimator, I'd see like 5 times, but and it's like, oh, I need that Mad Ball. You remember Mad Balls? And then we do a story on Mad Balls. So it was like,
dude, it was so much.
More, can you give us any kind of like insider info of what the Crack Studios were like?
Sure.
Like I'm just thinking of Mad Ball, like rolling around.
Well, I had that on my desk. Yeah. The one where you pull the eye out and it goes like, yeah. No, I had tons of toys, like, a fucking 2-foot tall Godzilla and all kinds of weird ass shit in there. But it was funny because my office was on 45th and 5th, which is, right in the middle of Manhattan.
Yeah.
And my office used to be John D. Rockefeller's office. Like, so I was pissing in the same toilet that he had and all that.
That in itself, dude. No, that's how you go out. Mort Todd, the guy who took over for Rockefeller.
And like, talking about being a punk rocker, I would, depending on the day, I would either come dressed like a bum, ripped jeans and t-shirt. And a lot of times I'd come to work wearing a suit and tie and stuff, it was fun.
Do you have a movie that shows people making comics?
What is your movie? I don't think so. I might have. I don't remember everything.
So much.
Here's the thing too, because this is huge. The fold-ins from Mad,
right?
Because of course, being what we are and marketing ourselves that way, we get asked this type of shit all the time.
Oh,
is damn, are my nipples hard? So Mort. Are they?
That's a question. It looks like it's a statement.
Oh.
I think it was supposed to be a question. There's supposed to be an oven there. So.
But really, because here's the thing, Pops. I was asking Mort about this question. Do you have a favorite fold-in for Mad?
Me personally?
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't read Mad. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about Crack right now.
No, I think like when I was little, there was one that, because it was Al Chaffee, and that stuff is genius to be able to make, the two things meet. But I think the one was when you fold it, it said LSD.
Oh, really?
I just thought that was really clever as a little
There
kid.
you go.
Yeah. And you guys, I haven't brought it up, but you probably don't know about my years at Marvel too.
Well, talk to me because I want to know where I get to go. What boxes I have to go dig around in to bring stuff to DitKO'S. You know.
Well, I got hired to do rock and roll comics because
Which one?
Such a rock. All the good ones at Marvel, you know. But before then, you know, they thought I wasn't doing anything because I had to negotiate contracts for about a year with bands and junk before we could do it. So they made me do some reprints, and I was like, okay, I'll do them. And I did all horror reprints from like the 50s to the 70s, and I got Ditko again to do some covers and stuff like that. But with the rock comics, yeah, I would like tour with bands like, you know, like Kiss or AC/DC or, you know, White Zombie. But we also did, you know, country acts and all kinds of wacky stuff. But it was fun too, because again, I traveled like a motherfucker all over.
So did you work on the Kiss comic?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, that's
not the one in the 70s.
That's the one I was getting to.
No, not the one in the 70s.
Oh, not that one? Which one?
I'm not that old, goddammit.
Come on, man. Hey, in the 70s, I was old enough to make comic books. I just wasn't doing it.
Yeah. No, when that came out, I would have been like 15 or something, I guess. Whatever. But but yeah, I did New Kiss book with them and Gene. What a character. What a nut. In a good way.
Spy versus Spy would be a good movie. How would you rate it? He didn't work for Mad. He worked for Crack.
Oh, Serial Mom. That was I don't know why you brought up Serial Mom, but I had a girlfriend at the time played the daughter in Serial Mom.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know how old that. When did that come out?
Probably like 92, early 90s. Yeah.
All right.
It was about a psycho mom. Oh, that was John Waters, wasn't it? Was that John Waters? I don't know. Whatever.
What's up? We got somebody on. Yes, we got somebody on Rumble talking. Right on. Elemental
Hello,
MJ. Good to see you
Elemental
again.
MJ.
Yeah, it's good to see you again, man. You're the only person that ever comments on Rumble, man. I'm just letting you know. We appreciate you, bro. I have a show that gets 200 views. You know, one person will comment. You know, it's crazy. Rumble is the weirdest platform we stream to.
You know, I'm not. I'm curious as to how Rumble tracks views and all that kind of stuff, but Rumble is a very like social media style streaming thing. Like if you're not like basically dedicated to Rumble and like I'm a Rumble streamer, the chat is not going to really interact. That's how I feel Rumble is.
Well, we got like 5 people watching over there, and again, only the one guy, our friend Elemental MJ, or man, you better be a dude. I'm gonna feel stupid.
Well, the photo kind of indicated dude, I think.
Yeah, I'm hoping, you know. But hey, nowadays, you just don't know. You got, you know, you got to dip your toe in the pool and make sure you're not making a mistake. It's crazy. Yeah, we got a bunch of people dropping stickers. Bowser's over there on.
Hi, Cause.
I said Bowser. I didn't say Cause. I don't know where Cause is.
You didn't say Cause?
No, I said
Oh, sorry.
Bowser. Bowser.
Like John Bowser from Sha-Na-Na.
If I watch one of your videos, will it be weird? It can be weird. We got 69 people viewing right now. We can stop. No, I'm kidding. We need 60 backers, and then we can stop. Come on, people, go check out this. I'm gonna drop the link again. It's been a bit.
We'll do that. And do you have the screen shared, or are we going to go back to me?
Well,
Let's take a look-see at the campaign.
You're still there, so you can.
All right. I'm going to scroll back to the top, and Pop's going to add it to the stage.
Whoa.
All right. I did
still
scroll
on
back to
YouTube.
the top. Oh, no. It was because we're on YouTube. Thanks.
You're still on YouTube. Yep.
It's just going to take me one moment, folks.
How many beers?
You don't
so
have to
far?
be quiet.
How many beers so far, Christy?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 2.
Okay, just
Yeah, but
not judging
they're
at all.
not. But they're not 12 ounces.
There you go. See, he does. She you are a legend. It's
Aw.
amazing. She's happy to see you here. True inspiration. Yeah, look.
Likewise. Thank
Like
you.
I said, man, anybody who does parody, they do it because of you guys. You know, you and Don and those guys. It's because of you guys. You know, that's the reason people do it. Like Parody Press. You know Don Chin?
Sure.
Love Don Chin. Great dude, right?
Well, I don't know him personally, but I know his books. Yeah.
I've talked to him about a half a dozen or a dozen times. So, you know, we've talked to him quite a bit. I used to go in his chat all the time and win all the prizes. Well, I'd go there and I'd win a prize, and then I'd answer the rest of the questions correctly, but I'd only take one prize a show, right? But it was like every time I showed up, everybody like, oh, Pop's going to get this. Told Don, just send me once a month. You don't have to send me everything individually. Just send me once. Want some really cool stuff, though. No, Don's awesome.
Like what? What kind of?
Parody Press did a parody of the Thor, the first Thor comic, right? And it's called Thor. And he's got golf clubs instead of Moner.
Oh.
And it is funny. As soon as I seen that it existed, I had to have it, right? You know, eBay. Who's got this thing, right? Went and found one right away. Had to have it. It's the funniest freaking book. Parody is like, you know, in comics, these are our comedians.
Yep.
You know?
Did you must have like the brand Eck?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Those are pretty good because you got like Kirby and Colin doing parodies of their own stuff, which was kind of neat.
I have Don Martin books. I have all kinds of books. You know, because I just love that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all funny, man.
Yeah, I don't know how I got all those books when I was a little broke kid, but yeah, I had basically all the paperbacks, all the Mad paperbacks, everything. Yeah.
I gotta agree with Ghost Pepper. He said art and comedy is the way to save this shithole. Yeah. Scott. What's up,
Hey, what's up, Pops?
Scott?
What's up, Mort?
Howdy.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Hi, Mort. Is Mark here?
you. No, Mark's not here tonight.
Okay.
But what I
Hi,
did
guys.
want to do, because we have it up, you guys, and just for any newcomers to the stream, we are doing this stream because we're closing out the Steve Ditko's Amazing Heroes and Monsters campaign, and I did want to refresh it. And I'm really crossing fingers that we got at least one more backer. So I'm going to do that right now. You guys ready? Who wants to roll the drum? Do it. Do it, Scott. Roll the drum like this. Okay, that works too. That was like really not great.
Thanks.
Did I? All right, no more backers. But we're still here. But we're still here celebrating this freaking awesome project that really should be at 6 figures, not 3. We're way beyond 3.
Promised Mark we would get more backers. I said, we'll do this and we'll get you some more backers, man.
We did get him more backers.
Yeah, you got a couple.
I know, but we need more. Don't make everybody, y'all watching, don't make a liar out of me, bro.
when you're streaming on 50 platforms like you are, you
No,
think
come on.
get a few more people.
We need more. And look, I realize some of you people, it's like you're younger, you might not be down with the old Ditko, but us old people telling you this is good stuff, just get it. Just get it. You're gonna like it. You know, you like Spider-Man. You like any era of Spider-Man, it's because of the guy that made all this stuff too.
Yep.
Remember that. You know. Otherwise,
Yeah.
none of that other stuff would exist. You know. And these all could have been the same way. It could have been one of these that Marvel latched onto and made their flagship way back when, right?
Yeah.
Just happened to be the Spider guy. You know? I'm just saying, it's the same dude created all this stuff, and any of them could have been the one.
Yeah.
You know, Doctor
Well, yeah, I
Strange.
think
Come on, man,
Static
that's
is
good
a lot like Spider-Man. You know, he uses static electricity to swing around on, you know, instead of a web. But
I don't know. I love Doctor Strange too. I mean, you remember the little digest size books that had the first
sure.
6 issues of Spider-Man, the first 6 issues of Doctor Strange? Man, I beat the hell out of those books.
Yeah.
I read them 100 times each, you know, easily.
When you're a kid, when I was a kid, there weren't comic shops and stuff. So like those paperbacks were great to be able to read the old stuff.
Dude, the library, you could go to the library and get anything, right? And read it and then just give it back. And, you know, but then if you went to certain stores like Walgreens, something like that, you'd see them digest size comics. But if you went to like the supermarket with mom, then it was spinner racks on the end of the checkout line, right?
Yeah.
Keep the kids' attention while mom's checking out. The kids aren't freaking out; they're looking at comic book. I mean, it wasn't just a sell tactic; it was a keep kids calm during checkout. It takes 20 minutes to count all the. Remember back in the day when they had to plug in every number and everything, right? Look, guys, I'm telling you, it took 20 minutes to get through the grocery checkout line back then.
Right.
You know, it wasn't all computer scans here. They had to punch in every number into the cash register. It's sale.
When I was a little kid, my grandparents got me a subscription to the Walt Disney Comics and Stories. And I was a rambunctious little brat, you know. And so like I got this comic and I would have been like 3 or 4. And I just sat there and read it. And my sister was like, we finally found a way to shut him up.
Comic book.
So it's been my pacifier since then.
What was your I'm lost. What was your favorite?
What was your
do?
Shut up to do?
There were a lot of fun ones. I tended to like the ones where we would do a theme, you know, like Star Trek shut ups or something instead of just random ones. There's this song from the 50s that's friggin' hilarious, and it's called Shut Up. And it's like a rockabilly song, and it's got like, that's where Cracked must have swiped the idea, because it's got some of the same jokes that were in the first issue. You know, it's like, mommy, I don't want to run around in circles. It's like, shut up or I'll nail your other foot down, you know. It was sort of like, you know, one of them answer songs. Did I help? I wrote it. Yeah.
There you go.
I wrote it and did the layouts, and Dan did the song. Dan Klaus. Yeah.
Now that's one thing we kind of ripped off just a little bit. We didn't rip off a whole lot from the old magazines, but we did. We did OK Boomer panels, you know, just like 3 strips on a page, and this some setup, and then OK Boomer, just one time because it got old. As soon as it was done, it was old.
But it's more your inspiration right here, baby.
I know.
But that's a pretty good idea, though. OK Boomer.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
Shut ups were. I remember. Wasn't it Don Orehek?
Yeah, he did most of them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he was one of my favorite guys.
Oh, totally. He's a super nice guy. That's a really cool thing too. Is a lot of these artists were just such nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, because it's a drag when you meet someone and they're a total a-hole. You know.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like in our own adventure, that I've found to be true, almost most of the time, especially like given whatever drama we have to live through these days, is artists are the fucking coolest people. They just are.
There's some cranky ones.
Sure, but cranky doesn't mean like that even that difficult. Like I enjoy cranky people once in a while, if they have a reason.
Yeah,
they're less cranky when
like
you pay
grumpy
them.
fucker. We like
that's
you.
true. Well, that's the thing. Like Pops, it's why we're friends, right?
Kind of. Look, we have a good time. That's all. We just
the bottom line.
Stuff like this. What Mark and Todd are doing. This stuff's amazing, guys. We got to look at more of it. We got to look at more of it and get more people to back this thing. You can't get it tomorrow. Okay, it has 2 hours left. You can't get this tomorrow. So this is like last chance. It's been up for everybody to buy for a month, right? Y'all could have already got on board, but now time's running out. If you want one of these 4 books, or all 4, or 2 or 3 of these books, now's the time, guys.
We got some cool merch too.
Yes.
You know what, Pops? If you can wait. Oh, I'm the controller.
Yes, you are, sweetheart.
Thank you, honey. I do want to look at the perks here for a second, because the 4-pack, I believe, is what it is. Like, kind of it blew my mind when we saw it. It was you guys.
It's there.
Here it is. Oh, that's digital.
That's the digital.
Coins, all kinds of cool stuff.
Cool.
And there's still one more title we haven't even touched on yet, Avenging World.
Oh yeah. That's
look at you guys. Just this perk though, the 4 Steve Ditko print comics for $26.
There you go.
Like fully remastered, colored by the master himself.
Was it a mistake? It was a typo.
No, is there?
No, he was being cool. He was being funny. Oh, y'all getting a great deal on that. We fucked that all up.
I wouldn't be. That's
some of my art right there that I did at the last Ditko Con. I was just sitting at a table just doing nonstop drawings, and so I had excess by the time the con was over, and so trying to unload some of them.
Hey, Mort, can you just tell us a little bit, because this stretch goal has been reached, The Secret Life of Steve Ditko?
Yeah, that's Mark Ditko wrote it, and it's got a lot of family photos and just a lot of cool stuff about, the family side of Steve that no one knew about, because when I finally met the family at the con and stuff, it was weird because Steve definitely separated his New York life and his, and his life with the family in Pennsylvania. And they didn't know anything about New York, and we didn't know anything about Pennsylvania. So he kept it pretty separate.
And considering how close they are together, that's kind of weird.
What, the states?
Yeah. I mean, look, we used to. I grew up in Minnesota, and all our whole atmosphere was about cracking jokes on people from Iowa and Wisconsin. We knew all about them. We knew every joke you could think of. I mean, we made some up, but you know what I'm saying? It's we knew all about Wisconsin. We knew all about Iowa, because they were our neighboring states, right?
Yeah, growing up, we had French Canadians to make fun of.
Here we go.
And it turns out, when I got older, I realized they were just all Polish jokes that they changed to French Canadian.
You ran who off? What are you talking about? What are you doing? You didn't run nobody off. You're right. Ghost Pepper says Christie's mic on the good one. I don't know what that means.
What did he say?
Something on here. He said, "Is Christie's mic on the good un? UN?" I don't know what he means.
On the good one.
On the good one. I don't know what that means.
Well, you know what, you guys? I think it might be time because you made 4 different trailers for this, right?
4 different books. Yes.
No, I didn't do one for Avenging World.
Oh,
Yeah, that,
and we watched Static already.
Yeah, that was like a last minute. Like we thought, no, let's do Avenging World because that's kind of considered. Well, Mark calls it the Ditko Bible because it basically has all his philosophy and his feelings about stuff, and it's hilarious. It's really funny because I got that book like in 5th grade when it came out, and back then you could only do through mail order. They didn't have comic shops and junk. But I remember reading it, and it's like something about the UN, and I'm like, what? Why is he attacking the UN? The UN's good, And then I grew up.
Yeah.
You're like, the state really has everybody's best interests in mind.
Yeah.
But so yeah, Steve influenced me way before I met him in junk, and it was like this book, Avenging World. It really, it just makes fun of the right people,
Would you scroll down to that one, Christy? Because there's some pretty badass art, interior art underneath it.
You're gonna have to I'm gonna scroll, and you guys tell me when to stop.
You'll see it when you get to Avenging World. You'll see it. See, Fantastic Giants. Keep going. You're getting there. You're getting warmer. It's
coming.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh,
Scroll up. Avenging World.
Yeah. Look at that interior art. That's that black and white. That's bad.
And it's a wraparound cover.
Nice.
And we also have a variant of that one too, with the character, the Avenging World. He's all beat up and
look, guys, there's a bunch of cool stuff here, man. It's just this is like a little trip to the Wayback Machine. You get to go back to the 60s comics, the 60 comic field, and man, look at you.
Well, and like I said, they're pretty damn prescient. Like this one, Avenging World was probably done, early mid 70s, and he just brings up stuff that is ripped from tomorrow's headlines and stuff, because it's just like it's all relevant, and it's more relevant now, I think, because people are awake. A lot of people have woken up since COVID and all kinds of garbage that
look,
they're trying to screw you over.
I woke up to Big Pharma like 15 years ago, and I'll tell you why. It's like I used to watch a lot of late night TV, and I started seeing commercials 20 years ago about, if you took this drug, get a hold of my lawyer because we'll get you $1 million, right? And I started thinking to myself, okay, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Why are people suing the medicine? And medicine is supposed to be good for us, right? Yep. Then I started paying attention. I started looking at side effects on simple over-the-counter medication, possible side effects. I was like, how come all this shit says possibly death on it?
Exactly.
Fuck, I'm not taking none of this shit. I don't even take aspirin anymore, bro. When I went in the hospital for surgery, every time they went to put something in me, I was like, wait a minute, what's that? I don't like it. I don't trust it.
Can you even take the happy juice?
They gave me like 9 oxycodones when I left. I think I still have 5 of them in the drawer over here. I took them the first day.
Hold on on us.
Right? I only took them the first day after surgery, and then I didn't take nothing after that. I just smoke weed. That's my everything here.
Smoking weed.
Gosh, something sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
I don't take
Write a
any
book on that, huh?
pharmaceuticals either.
Yeah, I don't like none of it. Give me some shrooms or some weed, I'm good.
Well, on that note, because of the topic of discussion, and I don't even know if we said this behind stage or in front, you did stuff for High Times.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you do?
Well, I did a lot of comics, but one time they sent me on assignment with a writer to Cancun for spring break.
Oh, dude. Wait a minute. How old were you?
Research trip?
Hold up. How old were you?
I would have been probably early 30s. And I still looked young. So like we totally scammed our way in and stuff. I remember, I think I was teaching at like School of Visual Arts, and they had a poster for going
He's
down.
trying to give himself pimples and shit so he looks younger.
But it was crazy. The first day, this young teenage girl walked through a plate glass window, and just her whole face was just covered in stitches. And I thought that was so fucking cool.
You're like, I totally do you now.
Exactly, right? And the thing is, like, she was like, oh, no, I didn't tell my parents. They'd want me to come back, And it's like, okay. Like, yeah, getting your stitches done in Mexico is probably... But on my last day there, I stepped on a sea anemone or something, And, oh, boy, that fucking pain. It was like, so, oh God. Yeah. So I had to go to the hospital in Mexico, and oh boy. And I was in so much pain. I was just like, shoot me up with whatever you got.
And like, hey, this is the best party of Mexico is the hospitals.
Yeah. Don't drink the water, bro. Just don't.
Yeah. It's a kind of dangerous place nowadays.
My co-host on Friday lives in Mexico.
Oh, yeah? What part? In Cancun?
No, he lives on Baja.
Oh,
he lives in Baja. Yes.
On the west side.
No, Acres and Movies. I was born in Minnesota. I don't live there no more. No. That state.
Apparently, it's turned into Little Somalia.
Yeah,
I was going to say, what happened? And if they're not Somalians, they're nuts like that Governor Waltz, It's like
let's go back though, because I can remember when Lake Calhoun was Lake Calhoun, and now it's named some Somali lake. They totally changed the name of the whole area I grew up in. I want George Floyd, all this. Minnesota been one fucking mess after another ever since I left.
It's your fault.
Not there taking care of shit. You're right.
Hope you're happy.
But no, I'm not in Minnesota. I'm in Michigan. I'm in Michigan now. Hanging out with my grandkids, having fun.
God. Yeah, what a world. I almost wish sometimes I was still doing crack, so it could make fun of shit that needs making fun of.
Well,
I'll leave that up to you guys.
It's called Flip City, and you're more than welcome to come and help us fuck shit up.
I was
look.
I was just gonna say you guys should have more
We're connected now. We're connected now.
A little something
Seriously,
in Flip City every quarter.
Let's talk, mister.
Yeah, because every now and then I come up with something that'd be like, oh, that would be cool to do. But
Mark could be part of it.
Where would I do it?
He could be part of the draw collaboration, Christy.
If he wants to.
The what?
Oh, well, on that note, Pops, thank you for that wonderful segue.
You know me.
We do a quarterly thing because, times have changed. Flip City is not mad or cracked, although the great Mike Barron calls us much funnier than mad. And we have to fucking agree. It is.
Flip
But
City is
so
madness.
so you know, we're doing the thing that you guys did, but only for today.
Right.
So, you know, in that spirit of for today, we have a collaboration that's going on with Madness Comic Network, where we gather a group of what we call revolting artists, and we put them in our basement and lock them up until they do the thing that they need to do.
Is there any drinking involved or anything?
That's up to them.
Way worse than that. So this time, for them to earn their ticket out of the basement, they had to draw a reflection of a celebrity as their true essence. And we have a poll running right now that has over 350 votes, I think, for their favorite. So check out themeg.tv to vote in the poll. Are you talking with me, Pops? Got something real important to say?
We will pull it up.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pull that poll up.
Pepper has already left the address there of the Meg.
Yes.
Thank you, Ghost Pepper. You guys just go and vote for your favorite celebrity reflection. It is the reflection of a celebrity as their true essence. What we're doing is we're gathering up all of these illustrations and putting humorous Flip City write-ups with each one of them when we publish these in volume 25.
That's right.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's mirror. And these are the images that these artists gave you of these celebrities. You have, well, I guess Adam Shit ain't a celebrity, but you know what I'm saying. These public figures.
Yes, it's basically anybody that would be recognizable.
Right. So over there you have Adam Shit by Doc Blaylock.
That neck is way too thick.
That's what I told him too.
Hey, Lord, I've taken that art and I adjusted it. It will be obvious.
And then you have Amber Turd in the spirit of Mars Attacks.
Oh, that's a good one, Amber Turd.
Yes.
I have not seen that one.
Levi Steen gave us Billy Gates. And Billy Gates, you have to study this one. This one has Easter egg after Easter egg.
Oh, dude, that's a totally zoom-inable image, you guys. Which, by the way, I believe if you go over there, before you vote, you can right-click on the image and open it in a new tab to zoom in.
Blow it up.
Worth it.
You have the Obama is the One by J.D. Gunther. MAGA Man by Jerry Hines. Brie Cut the Cheese Larson by Q. Our boy Q with 154 votes. And then with 152 votes, it's Diddy.
With the oil, he's got the
With
oil
the
and
oil,
everything.
guys.
Baby oil.
Have you seen the courtroom drawings of him?
No.
No, I haven't.
He's all white. His hair and beard is pure white.
Oh, well, you know, he used to have to color that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Jail, right? I don't think they sell coloring in jail. I don't think they sell.
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking stress.
No, dudes would be turning that into ink.
I'd be a little stressed because what was it? He had like some celebrity cellmate. Was it Luigi?
Oh yeah.
No.
Has Mr. Ditko ever had a death threat?
A what? A death threat?
Yeah. I don't know. Mr. Ditko isn't here. We can't ask him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
why would someone do that?
Yeah, he was a private person in the city and junk. So I don't think anyone gives a fuck.
So go over there and vote. Pick your favorite. Vote for your favorite.
That was a weird question, Bob.
There it is. Vote for your favorite.
Here, do it.
I was so happy to find a little more beer. That's all I'm saying. Congratulations, Mort.
What are some of Mort's favorite movies?
Well, gosh and golly, that changes, over the years and stuff. When you got one that you really dig, you watch a million times, and then, kind of forget about it. But like currently, I'm watching like a lot of old Westerns basically right now.
Yeah. I was doing that a while back.
Yeah.
We were on we found the Western Channel. I
Right.
was like, oh my God, this one. Oh my God.
Yeah, like Gene Autry singing cowboy films and stuff like that. There's this one guy that what's he called? I can't even fucking remember. It's like my favorite thing been watching is the something kid, and he's all in black with a mask and stuff, and they made like about a dozen movies.
The Cisco Kid?
No, it was. I can't believe I can't think of it.
Kid, there's so many kids, man. There was a million kids.
Yeah, exactly.
My thing, I got caught.
Durango Kid.
Okay. I got caught back.
And he was sort of like a Western Spider-Man, because this motherfucker would always be climbing the sides of buildings and jumping off of roofs and everything. And I'm like, damn,
another Zorro, right?
Yeah.
I got caught back up in the old spaghetti westerns, but not the Clint Eastwood ones, the Terrence Hill, Spencer ones, which are just hilarious.
Yeah, Bud Spencer, really.
Dude, I've been watching all that stuff.
They also, they did like crime films. It's not crime, but
yeah,
like,
they did a couple. They did a couple weird ones like that. One they were
like
pilots or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I love those guys. They were a great team.
Yeah.
Great.
And I'm a hyper big fan of Ennio Morricone. He did all the music for the Spaghettis.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And likewise, he did a lot of like horror and crime and slasher movies and stuff, the music for him. So it wasn't just the biscotti westerns.
Hey, you guys were East Coast. Did you get the Bowery Boys out there?
Oh, yeah.
Because we never got that. West Coast got the Stooges. We never got Bowery Boys at all. And that's like.
And you have like Lemon Grove Kids or something like that.
Well, I don't know. They had Little Rascals. I think everybody had that.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know if Bowery was regional, but
I think it kind of was.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it until I was 30 or 40.
Yeah, they got some horror elements in some of their films.
Wow. Well, anyway.
Well, I'm starting to lose it, guys. I'm getting pretty beat.
Yeah.
Check in on that.
I'm feeling like we're getting real near the end, you guys.
Get in right now?
Yep, get it now.
We're going to refresh this, see if we happen to pick up any happy new backers over here.
Don't hate yourself in the morning.
Don't hate yourself in the morning.
Didn't just.
Yeah, just go get
it. All right. We're standing strong at the 316 backers with 2 hours left. And like Scott said, if you don't do it now, you're going to hate yourself in 3 hours.
No, I tell you when you're going to hate yourself. You're going to hate yourself when people like me are going, look what I got today.
Yeah. That's true.
You see, that's when you're going to go, oh, damn, I should have got on that. It's like we tried to tell you. We came out here and we gave you a couple more hours to entice you to come check out this stuff. And I realized.
Ditko envy.
Well, see, I realized Steve Ditko it's going to be an old guy thing. Okay, people, a lot of people aren't going to understand or know that much about Steve because they weren't told enough about Steve when he was the guy.
Yeah.
They really weren't. Everything was about Stan. It was about the guy in charge always, right? Whoever was in charge, that's who it was about with Marvel.
Well, I mean, just real quick, isn't that kind of, at least when we first launched the campaign, wasn't Mark speaking a lot about like wanting to keep Steve's name and work alive?
Yeah, the legacy. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like we have to try and entice the younger people that don't really know who he is to come check this stuff out. So, like, maybe even if you're not getting it for yourself, get one of these for young. They're not overpriced. To get one of these for a youngster in your life, and introduce them to Steve Ditko. I got Static, and I'm sure my grandson's gonna like it. And I'm hopefully he's going to become a Ditko fan. He loves Spider-Man already, but he doesn't know artist from artist, just like I didn't when I was a kid, right? But when you're presented with something from somebody who's not making new stuff anymore, okay, this is your one chance to get this stuff. He's not making new stuff.
Man,
get this stuff as it's being remastered and redone. Get it. Turn your youngsters onto it.
Yeah, it's really heartening sometimes at cons. I'll meet like a 15-year-old that's like wicked into, like 1970s Charlton comics or something, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it, when you find a youngster that's all down, that's because
like when I was a kid up here in Maine, it was, you go to flea markets and you could buy all kinds of pre-code horror, for like 50 cents a piece or something, so I got all into 1950s comics in the 70s,
I am going to throw this offer out to you, Mort. The last Saturday of every month is when we do the Flip City is Madness collaboration draw streams. And the artists come out and they draw the stuff that they're submitting for that contest that we were just talking about. I'd love for you to submit something to be part of that collaboration.
Well, do I have to get locked in the Bayment?
That's totally up to her.
Hey, listen. I'll find you. Don't worry.
Now I know why the Ramones were singing "I Don't Want to Go Down to the Basement."
I think it'd be awesome if we had some more Todd art in the campaign as well.
I'd love that.
It also puts you in Flip City, because your art gets published in the book, and if you win, you even get more stuff like a quarter-page ad in the book and a banner on the Madness website. There's all kinds of
there's all kinds of fun bonuses.
Yeah, there's perks that go along with it. Actually, I just think you'd be hilarious. Whatever the theme is, I'm sure you would bring something that would.
Is that what you do? You have a theme each time, and
yes.
Yeah, the first one was serial killers and the women who loved them.
It was basically people were drawing the women who loved the serial killers, and the spread came out fantastic, and that will be in our hands very soon. The actual print. So
cool.
Yeah, that was our first one, and this one's wrapping up, and we have almost 400 votes on our poll. So good job, you guys. I'm super excited about that.
That is killer. Because look, what did we say? We were shooting for 150 votes.
Yep. So we've over doubled it. So
yeah,
I'm pleased as punch.
So when's the next one?
It's actually officially right now, but I haven't come. Which, by the way, Mort.
Yes.
If you have a topic idea, throw it at me, because I don't have an idea right now. And I have to get it out to these guys ASAP.
For the next one, or for this?
No, for the next one. Well, for the next one. So, because we're closing out this one right now. And
so it'd be the last Saturday of the month, which will be, I actually won't be there that day, Kitty. I'm just letting you know. I will be golfing as Dante with Mr. Fringe.
Hey, listen, we've got it handled. I'll bumble through it.
I know. You got it. That's the day we're going to be recording the golf match between Dante and Mr. Fringe. So that day is already pretty full for me. I think I have a countdown that night too or something. It's like that's going to be a crazy weekend. because then the next day I'll be at Hall of Heroes Con with Mr. Fringe, and we'll be interviewing people and carrying on like crazy people on the floor of a con.
Yeah. So you guys just know, Pops is just talking about what he's involved in. The network goes way beyond that. I mean, think of what Pops is talking about multiplied by like
everybody in the network.
Yeah, everybody in the network.
Because everybody's doing something, their own thing. Everybody's doing cool stuff. Look, the whole thing is growth. The more people we can bring into this, the more people we can bring into the network, the larger it gets. The more people find out about Flip City and find out about Steve Ditko's Heroes and Monsters. You got to be out there talking about stuff for people to find out about it. You know?
It's a gateway drug.
Yeah. Well, comics has always been a gateway drug.
Well,
by the way, Scott, just in case you didn't know, Mort's been talking about drugs all night.
Okay.
Yeah, but I never brought it up once. But I mean,
okay.
Hey, did you hear what RFK Jr. said last week about comic books?
No. What did he say?
Do you know the comic Turok, Son of Stone?
Yes, I have some.
Well, he first of all, he said he was addicted to comic books when he was a kid. And his favorite comic was Turok, Son of Stone. And in it, Indians, Native Americans, take psilocybin and drugs to be able to travel in the past and fight dinosaurs and stuff. So, you know, he thought that was pretty cool. And then when he was like 15, a guy offered him some LSD and he remembered Turok. And he goes, will I be able to see dinosaurs? And the guy said, probably.
Yeah, that's what you want, man.
I see no problem with that.
Yeah. So he took the acid, and within a week, he was addicted to heroin for like 30 years. You know? So that comic book.
That sounds like a gaslight to me. Like LSD to heroin? What?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to
In what world does that happen?
Did he find any dinosaurs?
The Kennedys, a lot of junkies in the Kennedys. Like a lot of them
Didn't find any
died.
dinosaurs though.
Yeah,
If
right.
he didn't find any with LSD, he damn sure wasn't going to
I
find
couldn't
any.
believe it. He was telling this whole audience, and it was obviously a personal type of story. To talk about how addicted he was for so long and junk, and but to bring up Turok specifically for their druggy time traveling, causing him to become a junkie for decades.
That's hilarious because I have some Turok comics too. I do.
Hey, dude, you got any Turoks?
Hey, keep it down, bro. Keep it down. You tell the whole world, man.
It's a Turok, Son of Stoned.
You just slip it out of my coat.
Well, I'm sorry.
Someone is stoned.
On that note, I know Mort wants to get to bed. Should we close the stream out?
Yes, you may. But we have to do it right.
Yeah, well, first, I want to thank you guys for all your support, like coming and going when we started and now that we're finishing. But, you know, you guys are a great force of good for the community.
Whatever little amount of clout we can lend. Whatever shred.
I can't even
shreds
believe
clout.
you even like mentioned the word clout because we have none.
That's why I put it that way.
Well, this is what I love about this project, though, me personally, is that this is only the very tiny tip of the iceberg of what Mort has planned. Mort and Mark for the Steve Ditko's remastering. Like, I don't know, like this collection is the Amazing Heroes and Monsters, and then you're going on to a new collection.
Well, we these books each have a couple issues, so we'll be doing those, and then introduce a bunch of other titles and junk. What we're shooting for is, like, speaking about a countdown, we're doing countdown to Ditko 100 because in 2027 it would be his centennial and stuff. So we're trying to snowball that into a lot of media exposure and maybe get other companies involved too to help honor him and his career.
Well,
I don't doubt that everything that you have planned in your mind is just going to happen. I don't, you know, I mean, this is an amazing project and well deserved. So why shouldn't it?
Yeah.
No,
I can't. You know, in all humbleness, I just couldn't imagine anyone besides me and Mark doing this. You know, because
no. The whole thing was the fact that it was Mark and you doing it that got my attention. Okay. Not that I wouldn't have been paying attention once I realized somebody was doing but a lot of people have done, you know, their own version of Ditko Works, right? This is Ditko Works. You know, this is his actual works, not somebody's version of it. That's what got my attention because it was you guys doing it. That made me, oh, this is real. This ain't no remake, redo, whatever. This is the real stuff, and that got my attention. And
no, I mean, I love Steve's work so much when I was a kid, and to get to work with him was obviously a thrill.
When I interviewed you guys, and you know the whole idea of coming to DITKO'S and broadcasting there, and you guys were totally receptive to the idea. And I was like, man, you guys got my promotion, and anything I can do for you for as long as I know you. Count on it.
Cool.
Anybody that has faith in what I'm doing, I got twice as much faith in what they're doing.
Fantastic.
Kitty knows. I love what they're doing too. You know, I mean, from the day I met them, it's like I've been all about Flip City and wanting to help people get collaborations with them and outside of, you know, just everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I'd
love to be involved in your next drawing.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely. I won't be there, but Kitty will make sure you are.
So what do you do? You like simulcast while people are drawing, or
yes?
It's in one place, but basically what we're doing, put a different studio set up for showing people drawing and all that kind of stuff. So it's very fun. A lot of people show up regularly, and if you showed up and live drew, I'd be so fucking over the moon. And I think you'd like it, all the other people that hang out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And we'll be simulcast to all the places just like it is right now. You know, I mean, we'll put it out everywhere. We always do. And the object is to try and bring more artists into the contest.
Right.
The more art, the more people that get published in the book, the more people's stuff gets seen. And it shows not just your talent for drawing, but can you be funny? Can you make me laugh? Make me giggle?
It is a challenge in itself. Hey, Pops, would you? I have an idea.
Okay.
To close the stream out, I'd like to play the main video again. Mm-hmm. And then do you just want to roll right into credits, or what do you have set up?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of late. It's kind of late. I think we just roll out with that beautiful crawl, you know.
With the crawl?
Yeah, that's the thing that's loaded as the end, you know.
Well, then can I play the main trailer first?
You can play that wherever you want.
And on that note, thank you so much more for hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to see you tomorrow morning on Coffee Shop with Doc. Right. And cool. We'll see what kind of shenanigans we get up to over there. And for everybody, this campaign's going to be live for another hour-ish. Hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
So you guys go back it. The link's been dropped over and over, and it is also in the description of the videos on my channel and Madness and everywhere else that we're blasting out. So make sure you do that. But I'd super love final thoughts before we close out tonight.
Some deep thoughts.
Very deep.
How low can you go? Well, again, I just got to thank you guys for all your support and everything. And I think you've got an amazing community, and I love being part of it. And of course, yeah, I'm pushing my Ditko books, and pick them up. They're fun.
I heard I'm pushing my dick, and then I got very offended. Okay. My husband's right here, Mort.
Scott,
how could you?
I think you're going to have to go handle that in a minute.
Okay. I'm on it.
I'm ADD, you guys. Mort.
Well, I got a big folder full of old photos of Steve, and the folder's called DITKO'S.
Well, you know what's funny is in my own high school not yearbook, but my photo album that I put together, I was in the sax line in high school. But our parents did allow us to have co-ed sleepovers because we were such nerds. Like, seriously, my parents were like, you guys are such fucking nerds. You can't have co-ed sleepovers. And literally, hardly anything happened. We literally just had fun. But in my photo album, I put sax party, but crossed out sax and put sex.
Ooh, what a rebel.
I was.
You didn't get bounced for that?
I'm kind of surprised I didn't.
Hey, actually, what might have been a harbinger of my fate, like in, I think it was probably 9th grade or something, I put out a fake bulletin in my school because they would pass out bulletins every day, and I had my own mimeograph machine. That's what a geek I was, right? So I did a fake flyer, a morning bulletin sort of thing that started out normal, but then it was like, for everyone who ordered their kilos, you can go to the principal's office. And then it just got worse and worse, and I actually got suspended for that.
Oh.
It was on April Fool's too, and it was
worth it.
Yeah, totally.
You guys, where's this sense of humor?
I was all burned up. Like, I'm going to take this to the ACLU and all that.
Now, see, Mort, I think I've tried at least 3 times closing this stream down, but you just keep coming up with better and better stories.
Yeah. Well, maybe we ought to have a 5-hour one next time. So.
No, I'm literally doing it for you because you're like, I need to go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
Mort, it's always great talking to you, brother.
Likewise, it ain't going to be the last time.
I can't wait till September. I can't wait to meet you. We're going to have a blast.
We'll have a blast, all right. And we're going to tear up Johnstown, Pennsylvania. They hadn't seen anything like that since the flood in 1927.
I'm like, yes, absolute party town, Johnstown.
I cannot
Is there anything else in Johnstown?
I'm going to play this. Are we ready to go?
And also, thanks to the people on the chat and everything, and the 2 people who backed us.
Woo!
Yeah. Yes.
Every little bit helps.
Send us some dit pics.
Audio Jungle.
Nice. Yeah, it's good.
Well, which are you, good or evil?
Yeah. Little column A, little column B.
Somewhere between heaven and hell. What you gonna do, Christy? What you gonna do?
What? Am I supposed to do something?
Yeah, I think so.
Holy shit. Guys, okay, media assets. What am I showing?
No. Up there in the corner where it says end stream.
Oh, I thought you said you were running some no, we're not ending the stream. We're gonna run a few ads because because that is
okay. You're in charge.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not. All right, I'm not. Okay, night, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night. Thanks for having me.
Peace, everybody.
Click on the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens